The Survivor Specialist Phil and Will are back, and today we have a Survivor 51 cast, which means we're giving our Survivor 51 cast assessment and reaction. We are here to discuss the 21 newbies and figure out what we think that actually means for this season as a whole as well, because we don't have tribes, Will. We don't have tribes.
Wait, there are 21?
21.
Huh. I didn't even piece that together and watch. I mean, Jeff never said that in his video.
It said it in the description for the video, but you'd have to click the description. But anyway, we have 21 newbies. We don't have tribes, and we got a video of a 40-minute video where you could hear the people's damn voices on day one.
Yeah, and Jeff voted himself out. I thought he was like relinquishing hosting duties. I thought that's what we were going toward. That to me was the most important part of the video.
It was. He did say, "I've had my time."
Out. It's like he's like, my time is up or my time is over. He was like strongly hinting at not being the host of Survivor anymore.
I mean, imagine if that's how he did it and nobody's talking about it at all. That would be hilarious.
Like there's just all right, it's the open era. We can do whatever we want. All right. There's no host. One of the 21 is the host. That's actually how it works.
That's the twist.
You have 2 tribes of 10, and one of them is the new host. We just don't know it yet.
I like where your head's at here, Will. Maybe that's what we will end up getting, and that'll make some people happy, but then we'll have to figure out who the host is. That'll be something we have to figure out here tonight. But truly, I think we're going to end up getting a Fiji level start. I think the first thing they're going to do is go to a Fiji type start. And I think that we are going to have one odd person out going to Exile Island. Somebody had tweeted at us and showed a picture and said, look, Exile's already been confirmed that there is going to be some version of Exile on this season. And I think that we might end up with a pick'em type season, because even if you look at the clothing, there's some people who are dressed in yellow and maybe blue, but for the most part, this is a very neutral cast in terms of what they're wearing, which is simply not the case when they show up on the island anymore. They're always, hey, you're on the red tribe, put on your red clothes. You're on the blue tribe, put on your blue clothes. That is not what we are seeing here, which will be disproven by the first person I show who's wearing literally all yellow. But everybody's just kind of in pretty standard clothes. I think we're getting a pick. I really do. Justice for Keith Fahmy says Sylvia Kwan. Yes, Sylvia Kwan-esque. Just hopefully somebody better picks the tribes, and hopefully they don't do haves versus have-nots.
Yeah, I do think we are in a pick'em situation. Our Exile maybe, but is it 21 people and then you pick 2 tribes and then that person is just eliminated? Is this more of a Jonathan and Wanda situation?
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. I think that would suck. I would like them to pick the tribes and then pick which tribe they want to be on. And so somehow you end up like winning immunity. You get to pick the tribes and then you get to say which tribe out of the 2 you made do you want to be on.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. Look, we've had the entire new era outside of 50. We only had 18 people. Obviously, we went to 24 for 50. But like even taking on a 20-person cast is like really tightening the schedule for a 26-day season. And I think Survivor probably felt that in 50. I think that was part of the negative response to 50 was the blood moon and maybe like rushing through votes and just having not enough days to eliminate that many people. And so to come right back on 51 and say, we're going to go 3 more people than we have for the, other 9 new era seasons, like, I don't know. I think eliminating someone right off the bat is totally on the table. They've done it before. And I think to introduce the open era, like, okay, if we're going to do something called the open era and like, we're going to pick something from the past, you're not going to be like, oh, we've done a tribe swap before, so here's a tribe swap. Or like, oh, we've done 2 tribes before, or we've done a pick'em. And yes, pick'em is different from the new era, but it's like they've done pick'ems, 5 or 6 times? It wouldn't be some... To really prove that they are open to anything, I think you have to pull out something drastic that's only been done once, and that is in Palau, where they pick and the people not picked are out of there. I
mean, I could see them doing it. I just think that would be a brutal way to start, and I also think that twist was so incredibly unpopular at the time. I feel like people hated that twist then. They still hate it now. And the Fiji thing, I know that we've had a couple seasons where they've picked their tribes, but the Fiji style opening with an odd number, somebody getting sent to exile right off the bat, that is something we haven't seen before. Only once, and it was in Fiji. So I think that
Yeah,
it
but
could be.
that doesn't feel as like, and that was, out of, a late casting issue where they had to go from 20 to 19 and they had to figure it out. That wasn't even part of the initial creative on what, I don't know. It just feels like it makes too much sense to me that to really intro the open era and enter the show, enter this era with a bang and be like, we are literally anything's on the table, to be like, oh, one person goes to exile. That doesn't feel monumental. It doesn't feel
I think it's
punishment.
monumental, though. I think it's monumental if you have them pick the tribes and it's 2 tribes. I mean, Ryan Chan says it right here with the super chat. No more 3 tribes of 6. I mean, we've seen that
Hallelujah.
nonstop. And then we saw 3 tribes of 8 in season 24. So just having 2 tribes and having it be a pick just says this is a totally different tone than what the 40s were. And it would be a totally different tone. When was the last time we had a schoolyard pick, Will, to start the season?
Gabon?
Is it? I think it is Gabon.
Oh, I thought you knew. I thought you were like testing me.
I'm kind of testing you, but I think it is. I think Gabon is the last time that we had it. And I think we had it in Gabon, Palau, Thailand. I can't remember if we had it any other times, but I think that was the last time that we had the tribes picked by players on day one was Gabon.
Yeah. And honestly, it usually leads to blowouts. That's when you get the most uneven tribes, is when you allow the cast to pick them. Like, that was Gabon was a blowout. Obviously, we know what happened in Palau. Like,
I do think in this situation, though, there's going to be so many swaps and everything. I think Survivor, this would be the producers saying we're willing to let the players make a couple decisions, because at the end of the day, the 2 tribes that are picked, what would it be? 1 day, 2 days, first tribal council, and then they're swapping. I mean, it's not going to be long. That's for sure. I think that we're probably going to have like 2 or 3 tribe swaps in this season. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't want to focus too much on that. We have to talk about whales for 45 minutes, but
I love whales.
So you're pumped about the logo and the entire theming of the season?
Yeah, I mean, rarely is a season so based around one animal. Like, usually there's other art direction involved, and even seasons that do feature an animal in the logo, like, I would never say like Korong is like the tiger themed season, but this feels like this is just whales is what it is. And I'm a big fan of whales. One of my favorite animals. So I'm all about the whales.
Are you pumped for this like movie where the guy gets eaten by the whale? Have you seen the trailer for that?
No, what is that?
I forget what it's called, but the whole trailer is a guy literally getting eaten by a whale, and he has to survive after being eaten by the whale. I feel like this is going to be a big time Will movie based on what you're saying. Anyway, yeah, so Gabon was the last time we had a schoolyard pick, but I'm excited about this. I'm excited to talk about this cast. I also just want to highlight how happy I am that CBS and Survivor actually took the time to put out a video, to use the online medium and actually put out a video of all of the players. Will and I have talked about this a lot in recent seasons. What used to happen back in the day, and I mean, we started doing this podcast for a full season in season 30, and all the way back in season 30, what they used to do is Jeff would give his take in kind of like a 5 to 6 minute video on how he thinks every player will do, and it was before the season started. And then every player would have like a minute to a minute and a half long video, and we get to hear them talk. And that was being put out by CBS and Survivor or Entertainment Weekly or whoever. And then it became, hey, we're really only going to have the in-print, version of everything. But then we'll also do like interviews. Like Bloom would put out these really long interviews with everybody, but it wasn't on day one. It would always be as, to build the off season and say, I'm going to take up a day here and a day there. I think it was so great to do this because you're actually celebrating the cast. And I know that Hey123 says Big Brother also did casting video this year, and it was so much nicer than in past seasons. I don't know if Big Brother's done that all the time. Somebody said that they were reheating Big Brother's nachos on social media, but I don't care if they're reheating the nachos. Everybody likes nachos. And if you like nachos, I'll eat reheated nachos rather than have no nachos. And I feel like this is just something that is such a step in the right direction of actually getting to show off the cast beforehand, allowing us to hear them and get to know them more than just what they thought when they were writing. And we get to really connect with these people. We get to hear their voices, hear their accents, hear how they're talking about other players, hearing their intonations as they're actually wanting to discuss their cast members rather than just like, oh yeah, I'm going to play like Parvati. Whoa, you too? No way. And so it's nice that they did this. I love that it was like a 40-minute, easy, just one thing, digestible. I hope they do this all the time now in the future. I think this is a good way to start the tone, to set the tone for what is about to be the open era in season 51.
Is this part of the open era that like we used? Because I think they used to do this like way back in the day. It's like we are now returning to a full-on cast video announcement.
Maybe. I like it. And I mean, St. Cliffo says Bloom said no one's getting preseason interviews, which is kind of a bummer though. I get that that's a bummer, but I would rather honestly, I would rather them do something like this on day one. Everybody's going to make their content anyway. You're not getting interviews, but you're going to have this content anyway. So
what do you mean day one?
What'd you say?
What do you mean day one?
Day one of like the cast is announced and we're hearing this stuff on day one rather than like throughout the next 18 days.
I thought you meant they were like, they did these interviews on day one. And it's like, no. These happened before the season started.
No. I'm just saying like day one, we know what these people sound like. We know everything about them. It's not, Bloom put out Aaliyah's interview on Thursday. And then the other person wasn't until 17 days later. Yeah. I don't mind.
Yeah. I hear that part, but it's not like we haven't heard their voices before. I think you're conflating what we went through with the Traders, where we did not get any video at all that just came out. If you haven't watched our Traders cast preview for Traders New Blood, and those aren't former reality stars. Those are just 21 random people, and we had nothing to go off of other than the questionnaire. Are there questionnaires also that in addition to this video?
Bloom, okay. I saw Bloom's, yeah.
Okay, thank God, because I honestly was like, yeah, I like the video, but if we don't have the questionnaire to go through, I feel like there's not as much meat on the bone for us to really, rip into these people.
No, there's plenty there, and we still have the questionnaires and everything. But no, they haven't done these types of short form videos. No, we have not heard the short form videos.
They're usually like tweets, and you have to like find them all on Reddit or on Twitter somehow. They're not in one place, and then like they're only 45 seconds long, but they have like a graphic at the start and a graphic at the end. So they're really only talking for like 35 to 40 seconds. And you're like, okay, I barely got
some seasons they didn't even do that. Some seasons it was literally nothing. So here we go. I mean, we got 21 people.
Let's start.
I mean, let's dive into it. Before we get into it, I just want to say this offseason, in case you dipped off after 50, which is fair, we did do a winner ranking by popular demand. We ranked all 50 winners, 5-part series. So go check that out. Whether you're listening on audio or you're over here on YouTube, go check it out. Either way. So that series came out. I also did one with Once Upon an Island where we discussed what it takes to win Survivor and how winning Survivor has evolved. That was a 10-part series. John and McKenna did how the first juror impacts the winner of a season. That was also a 10-part series. So we had a lot of stuff going on. Blake and I are covering Surviving Barstool. We had a lot going on in case you disappeared. Patreon.com/specialist. Good time to join because we are in Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, although that's not the reason to join. But we also are going to be having a Power Rankings game and the fantasy game open to our top tier patrons. And we'll have our over-under game, obviously, like we always do. So here we go. I wanted to mention all that.
We did the Traders cast thing too.
We did do the Traders cast assessment, and thank you, Alan, your boy. Y'all did a great job, Traders cast, despite the little info we got. We got pretty much nothing, and we just roasted people for saying, well, if I'm a trader, I can't get murdered.
Yeah, that's what's fun, though. You get to find the answers that aren't original and then make fun of people for it. Are we going to do the caveat where we say we only saw a 30-second clip, or I guess now it's like we only saw 2 minutes of you. We only have the one questionnaire. Sorry if we get this wrong. We have to give our takes. We have to give our opinions. Sorry if we're not. We can't say, oh, we think everyone's great and we think everyone's going to be the winner.
Will, I don't know if I'm giving that caveat anymore.
Wow.
I think open era Phil is in a different mindset now because look, I tell you everybody exactly what I'm feeling all the time, but I do pull some punches. And I think open era Phil is going to be a little bit less with the punches pulled. I think I'm okay with hurting some people's feelings a little bit just because, like, I'm gonna be honest, man, playing nicey nice doesn't always get you ahead. And I think that some people in the 40s were a little soft towards us, even when we didn't do anything really wrong. So I'm just saying, maybe in the 50s, I just got to be like, look, you either have a backbone or you don't. You're either going to like me or you're not. This is our podcast. We got to say something. I can't make everybody like me, but I hope that at least 20 of you do.
Okay. Seems
Is that
like
okay? Are
I don't
you
know.
nervous now? You don't like that?
No, I just like I don't. I feel like you don't usually pull that many punches, so it's kind of surprising to hear that you said you do. But
I pull punches. I'm just like, man, I'm not going to be like mean. I'm still not going to be mean, but sometimes you just like, you're like, let me try to find the most positive thing I can about this person. And maybe this year, maybe I find the mediocre thing about this person. I don't know. I don't know.
all right,
It's like,
well,
look, man, am I ever
let's
going to
bet.
get to the level of Blake's miserableness? No, I can't
No.
do that. It's not humanly possible to be like that. I made a rule for him, Will. I don't know if you know this. He now has to say something positive before he can go on and say something negative. Every sentence has to start positive. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I don't have anything fancy because the group photo's in our thumbnail and I'm not doing anything. So here we go, right to this. We're starting off with Aaliyah. She's 24, Gloucester City, New Jersey, Providence, Rhode Island. She is a chef. I will pull this up as we go through. These are going to be in alphabetical order based on how they appeared on Parade. That's how I did it. I think that's also the same with the exception of Thien An, whose is going to be higher up than it was in the actual video that was released. Will, what was your initial take before we get into the questionnaire and stuff? Just initial take hearing Aaliyah talk. What was your feeling?
So I haven't read the questionnaire yet, so we can do that kind of live. I think that's
Yeah.
a fun way to do the cast assessment. Initial thoughts are I think she feels like she's a little rough around the edges and maybe perhaps a little bit young. And obviously she's 24, so that is fairly young. So I feel like she could be a fun character, but in prospects of like winning or deep strategic gameplay, I wasn't getting a whole lot there. It seems like she does have that like kind of, how the chefs I feel like used to be, you think of a cook or a chef, you think about like your mom baking cookies and like, I don't know, the past like decade, I feel like every chef in like a gastropub has like sleeves of tattoos. Maybe you think of the bear, or you like we saw a video in Aaliyah's snippet here of like people moving around the kitchen and it's like dog eat dog world and like there's I don't know. It felt like she's like chef is now like a rough and tumble profession and not this warm and cozy one. And I feel like I got that vibe from her a little bit.
Yeah, she's definitely got an edge to her. She said that she's a bold, independent woman. She started with Kagion, but she kept highlighting how she's there to win. And it was like an aggressive, I'm there to win. Not surprised that she's from Jersey. She's still living in the Northeast, so definitely has like that Northeast edge to her. But I do feel like at 24, maybe coming in a little too hot could hurt her. I do feel that she'll probably be underestimated by the cast early on. Like I could see her being somebody who gets picked later if it is a schoolyard pick, but then ultimately ends up being somebody who's useful because she does have the competitive nature. But I feel like we're probably a lower floor on Aaliyah. I feel like Aaliyah is one of those players who could end up being better TV than a player if she goes far. And if she doesn't go far, I don't think I'll be overly surprised.
Yeah, and I'm seeing now we can get to the questionnaire. It feels like this is a shorter questionnaire than usual. So we got more video, less material in the questionnaire, it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Are you reading? Are you reading off some of the questionnaire, or you want me to do it?
You can read it. I'll react.
Okay, so 3 words to describe you: confident, wise, sporadic. We kind of got into that. Why do you want to be part of Survivor? Survivor is a show where the impossible happens, and it gives everyday people the opportunity to be themselves and trapped in a twisted, chaotic, and thrilling game of strategy. And who can do the most with that? What they are given. It's a huge accomplishment to win, and I want the title. One life experience that has you prepare for the game. Constant pursuit for change has prepared her to win from living in a small town in New Jersey, moving to Miami at 13 with little warning, then Rhode Island for college, not knowing a soul, to solo traveling in different work environments. She's used to being adaptable, flexible, and for things to change without notice. She identifies most with Jam, someone who makes jokes naturally, can be loud back, but calculated, always tries to find a way to win. And she thinks she will play most like Sari. So that's just, that's a red flag for me because nobody plays like Sari.
Yeah, I mean, listing a winner and Sari as your people, maybe, but not terrible. At least it wasn't Parv or Boston Rob or Tony. So, Jam is not considered. We did our winner ranking. Jam is not considered like a top winner. So I can at least appreciate the Jam pick there.
Yeah. Anything else stand out to you from there? I feel like it does. Go ahead.
I'm getting the like adaptability is very big for Survivor, especially modern Survivor with all of the twists, and we think there's going to be swaps and a lot of things thrown out at these players, and she could be prepared for that. Like this could be a story of Aaliyah like maybe not getting off to a hot start, but hey, you win one challenge or you survive one vote, you're on to another tribe, and then now she's adapting. I could see her wiggling her way through. She seems to have that mindset that she's just never going to give up and she's going to like fight and really go for it. So like that's the upside for her. I feel like I just don't know. She seems like she could be a very easy early target. That's just kind of how I'm feeling. And
Yeah,
it seems
for
like
me,
she
it's
might be a little bit bold. She says she's bold. She says she's strong, independent. Like she gives me she's a little bit abrasive, it seems. So that's my worry.
yeah, and for me, it's the whole like change stuff that she's talking about. I do feel like there's some youth in those answers. What has you prepared to play this game? Lived in a small town, moved to Miami at 13, moved to Rhode Island for college, didn't know his soul. Like, I'm not saying that stuff's not impressive and it's not impressive to be able to adapt. I have to see how serious she is about all that because like a lot of us went to college and didn't know a soul and moved very far away. I mean, I went from New Jersey to Miami. You went from California to Miami, so like that's not that big of a deal.
Dude,
I
I
didn't
didn't know
move when I
any.
was young, but like people have.
Yeah, I didn't really know anybody either at Miami.
Yeah,
And then I moved to LA knowing like nobody too.
that's how I was too. I knew you.
A lot of people. Yeah, yeah. I was the only. Yeah, you weren't here when I moved to LA.
I know. That's what I'm
You
saying. When I
followed
moved
me.
here, I knew you.
Yeah. Um.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Aaliyah, if I'm really being reasonable with this, I feel like again, there's so much randomness that's going to happen in the new era, which everybody pretty much talked about in this video or in the open era. Sorry. I feel like Aaliyah probably goes pre-merge more often than she goes post-merge. I don't see her as the winner of the season.
No, I don't. I don't see her. One question before we move on to our next player. I was so confusing to me about what they told the players. What was season 51 going to be? I think obviously they said, "Hey, it's Survivor 51. That's what we're naming the season." They did mention, "Hey, it's Survivor 51. Survivor 51." It's like in Kagion, you never heard like, "Oh, it's Survivor 28." So it's like they told them the name of the season, and then you heard so much about like, oh, there's going to be all these twists and they're going to throw new things at us and we're in this. No one ever said like open era.
I know.
But it did feel like did they know
knew.
open era?
I feel like they did, but I wouldn't be surprised if at the time they didn't exactly know that that's what they were going to call it. So I do feel like they told them, although anything can happen.
Did they finish 50 before shooting or no?
No, I don't think so.
So they didn't see like the 50 preview. Welcome to the open era. Like, no, that hadn't happened yet. So it was weird because then a lot of people felt like they knew or were talking as if they knew. And then some people were like, I don't know, maybe they're going to do brains, bronze versus beauty or something. And it's like, wait, what? Okay, so clearly you weren't told. So it's like, did they all have the same information? I don't know. It just felt odd to me.
I thought they left in April, so I could be wrong. Anyway, let's move on. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long podcast. So next up, Alexis Levine, 34, from Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney. What I got from her video, she's been sober for 10 years. Family is everything for her. She said like being sober, it really has come down to her husband and her daughter. And she's going to lie about her job. She doesn't feel like it would be beneficial for her not to. So Will, before we get to the questionnaire, what stood out to you about Alexis?
I got very good vibes from Alexis. I feel like she's somebody who feels like a student of the game. Kind of feels like the super fan energy, but without the nerdy, I'm like, I just want to be on Survivor. Oh my God, pinch me. I can't believe I'm here. Like, I'm sure there will be a bit of that when they hit the beach and she sees Jeff. Of course, it's going to happen to anybody. But it feels like she's going to approach this game with a little bit more like, oh, I'm not a super fan excited to be here, but like I'm going to play to win and I know what I'm doing. And she feels like she could be very competent at playing Survivor. I think being sober, and then she talks about she's going to lie, but the profession she's going to say, instead of being a lawyer, an attorney, which I get, like lawyers, attorneys, like you don't maybe want to say that. She's going to say that she's like I think like an AA counselor or something, and something with alcoholism.
Something along those lines, yeah.
And
a job she has had.
And then she said she has had that job, and I feel like that is such a unique experience and probably something like that can only help you in a game like Survivor. You probably meet a bunch of different people with a bunch of different issues and problems, and you help them and counsel them. So like Overall, my vibes were pretty high on Alexis. Like, I do think she has winner upside. It feels like she's someone who I think is going to make the merge. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but like I got pretty good vibes. This is pre-questionnaire also.
Yeah, this is a longer questionnaire that's coming on here. So it seemed like Aaliyah's was shorter and then everybody else is longer. My thing with Alexis is I'm kind of going here with St. Cliffo. Honestly, this girl gave me nothing. I don't see her popping on screen. Could be 18th, could be 8th. There's always on a cast, there are certain people that cannot win Survivor, right? Venus cannot win Survivor. Abby Maria cannot win Survivor. Like, they put these kinds of people on, and then they do put people on who can win Survivor. Not everybody can win Survivor. Alexis comes across to me as like they're looking for their potential female winner. This feels like one of the women that they put on the show with the upside of a win. Now, granted, anybody can win. Marianne was not put on the show to be a winner, but she was able to win the game anyway. But I feel like Alexis is giving me smaller personality, better story, going to be something that people can connect with. I do worry, though, if she's not going to win the game, she's going to get overshadowed by the bigger personalities on the season.
Yeah, and I don't really see her as being a standout character. I feel like what stood out to me was that, she feels like kind of what you said, like she's someone who can actually win. Yeah. And I did feel like a number of people on this cast probably are like that. I don't see that person winning. Like that's probably not going to happen.
I agree.
So
let's go to her questionnaire. Hers short answers, but covers more ground. 3 words to describe you: outgoing, thoughtful, determined. Why do you want to be part of Survivor? Represents the best of the human spirit: physical endurance, mental toughness, social awareness. What's one life experience you feel has prepared you for the game? Being a criminal defense attorney, defending the little guy from the all-powerful government means constantly being on the bottom, and how to think creatively. Wants to play, identifies most like with Kyle, with a touch of Rachel, and of course Parvati. So that's a big knock against her. Can't help it.
Brutal one. Yeah.
Yeah. What will you value in alliance partner? Someone who thinks and plays differently to me. Diversity is the best asset. Favorite hobbies: gardening, reading, going on long walks with my husband, daughter, and our 2 poodles. Pet peeves: people who are ruled by their emotions and misogyny. What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? 10 years of sobriety from drugs and alcohol. Something we'd never know from looking at you. She's Iranian. Who in your life is your biggest inspiration and why? Her daughter, Lila. And why will you be the sole survivor? Every lesson I've learned in my life brings me to this moment. I plan on capitalizing that momentum and grit to outwit, outplay, outlast. The other thing that stands out to me about Alexis being 34, I'm 34. Will, I think you're 34. Normally this age range in the earlier seasons was people with families. It feels like this has started to gear more towards single people or married people without kids. And I think Alexis, that's like another thing that's standing out to me with her here is like having so much of a family life and playing this game for her family. It's a young age in modern Survivor to be doing that, which actually could be a positive both for her and for the future of Survivor casting in my eyes. Like, I think you do need to have more 34-year-olds who have families and have kids on the show, not just 34-year-olds like us. Like, I'm married, I don't have kids. Well, you're just, running around doing whatever. It's like, you need to have more personalities, I think, like Alexis, where it's like, this is the norm for a large portion of the country. And it kind of has gotten overshadowed in the new era.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't know if the kids thing is as important. It does feel like there has been so much new era of like white collar super fan. And I mean, I don't know, as we go through it, I'm like, keep an eye out for that. And look, if you have kids, I know people with kids, I know people that I don't know. Obviously it's a big life moment. I don't know if it fully defines who you are. Like I'm more interested in like different backgrounds and upbringings and professions and lifestyle than I am,
I get that. I just feel like for her, it is what she's about.
Yeah, no,
and I don't feel like this is the type of person they cast in the 40s.
She could definitely be a benefit to her. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next person. And this is where we stray a little bit from what the video did. And we have Thien An. So she is 24 years old, from Fort Worth, Texas, medical student. So she's weird. She thinks farts are funny. She's been applying since she was eligible, which isn't that long, 6 years, but still 6 years. She says the word YOLO unironically in her video, which stood out to me for sure because it is 2026 and you don't hear that word thrown around as much. What did you get from Thien An?
Thien An, is that how you say it?
that is how she said it when I was listening in 1.5 speed. So I think I'm close.
Okay. Um, I've got like a very low floor, very high ceiling
Mm.
for her. Like I could see she's kind of this big bundle of energy. It seems like she bounces off the walls, like, and that can go one of two ways. Like that could either get on people's nerves, she could be annoying, she could be loud, she could be grating, and it's like, all right, like we can't deal with this person. Or even gameplay wise, like if she can't keep with a plan, she's always running around telling people secrets, going back and forth between alliances. Like that might not be good, but it could work in her favor where it's like she's just charming, warm energy that you like having around. It's really hard to know until you really, people are going to live out on an island with her and find out. And she could be someone who is very underrated, I think. I'll often like these maybe more bubbly, I don't want to, not fully ditzy, but like very just like chipper people you might think aren't as strategically sound or they aren't as prepared to play the strategic aspect of the game. And she's probably pretty bright. She's a medical student. People going into the medical field are usually pretty sharp or at least pretty book smart. So I don't know. I see it going like she could. I do think there is a potential deep run and she can be a very big player on this season, but she could also be a very, very early boot. And I know that's not taking a hot take, but that's really what I got from her.
Well, it's really annoying. So far, we've kind of been in agreement on all of them. And I am in agreement with you on Tanan. I feel like she's either going to go far or she's going to be out immediately. And it's totally going to depend on the tribe that she's on to start. Like if she wins a couple, she has the Marianne upside because she is loud and she said she's going to be loud and she knows that she's weird and she's over the top. Those are good things in some instances, but they're not always good things. But it's, can she get far enough in the game where she can start to show the human side to people? Because another thing that she talks about in her questionnaire, she's 5 feet tall. So she's definitely going to be one of the people that they're saying, what can Tanan do for us in the challenges, especially when you have people like Ori and Brady on this season, which we'll get to. You have some big people who are probably going to be saying, hey, let's get rid of like some of the weaker people. I think it was Ori says he's scared of the women because they keep winning the seasons, which is something that I say all the time. If you're a woman under 5'5", you are more likely to win Survivor in the new era than any other archetype. And that's just a fact. So I do think it's going to totally depend on how she fits in on day one. Her ceiling is really high though, because if she gets it going, she can go really far. And I do think she'll be pleasant to be around. She'll be different than all the other people out there. But she's got to get through those first couple days. That's the problem. That's the problem. And people are saying, I don't underestimate Camilla. I see this from Daryl Seymour after Camilla. I don't underestimate this personality in the preseason videos. Camilla was nowhere near this loud though.
Camilla wasn't loud, I don't think. And I do remember Camilla saying like, I talk too much and I'm annoying in her video. And I think that kind of put us off of her. But I think there was probably some self-awareness with Camilla at least, which is a very strong trait to have as a Survivor player. I mean, yeah, I could see the comparison though.
Yeah.
Questionnaire.
3 words: quick-witted, empathetic, outgoing. Why do you want a part of Survivor? Since watching, I knew I wanted to be on. Very few opportunities in life let you connect to life in such a raw and authentic way. What's one life experience feels prepared you for the game? Doing Boy Scouts as a kid. Yes, Boy Scouts. Which previous player to identify with most? Kenzie is a firecracker and played a social game close to her heart, yet still strategic. What will you value in an alliance partner? Please, someone that won't stab me in the back. Favorite hobby: spending time with loved ones, whatever it may be, like exploring the world, running marathon on a whim, or making insultingly low trades in Catan. Pet peeves: yeah, anything that seems unfair, fake people, and people who can't separate your versus you are. She's obviously spelling out the contraction version there. What is the accomplishment you are most proud of during COVID when everything was closed and everyone was isolated? I made a new friend, and after a year they wrote, you taught me what being happy truly means. Something you would never know from looking at you. I'm a back-to-back all-around intramural champ. Who in your life is your biggest inspiration and why? Mom and dad. Boo. Why will you be the sole survivor? Coming in at 5 feet strong, I'll be lurking incognitally until it's time to strike. I'm assuming when she says all-around intramural champ, she means gymnastics, no?
No, I don't. It could be any sport, I feel like.
I feel like all around is like what they call gymnastics, though, isn't it?
It could be. That the all around, there is the event, the all around. But I'm trying to. I am back to back all around intramural. Oh, yeah, the way it's written. Yeah, that's probably right.
I mean, I like her personality. I just don't know if
Yeah.
she's going to win the show.
Yeah, no, I think the Kenzie comparison is very interesting, because Kenzie's out there, and Kenzie has that charm where she's out there, and people just love Kenzie. They love being around her. I mean, you could feel it through Kenzie's confessionals. She's just got this soothing, maybe not like calm and soothing, but she's just got this like very charismatic way about her. And I did pick up a little bit of that with Thien in her video, but is it too much in the direction of like loud and like, not that she's fully there? Again, I don't know. We haven't seen her play, but she's like, I don't know. She has to toe that line of being charmy and social butterfly without being like too much, too extra, as the kids are saying.
And that's a tough thing for this type of archetype to do, because I also think that somebody like Thien An is probably going to want to be fitting in as much as she can early on.
Yeah, like, oh, look at me, I'm so quirky and weird. Wow.
And I will say, Will, I don't know how you felt watching the video. I don't feel like this is as quirky and weird of a cast as they did in the new era. I feel like they went a little bit more like even keeled on some of these choices.
It did feel,
I do think Thien An stands out.
It did feel a little different, and it felt a little bit like pinch me. I'm a super fan.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's move on. So, the button didn't work. Anasani. Or Anasani, sorry.
Is it Anasani, or is it Anna last name Sani?
There you go.
Is Anasani her full name?
No, it's Anna. Her name is Anna. I was reading it quick. I tried to hit the button. It didn't work, and then I got thrown off. Anyway, she's from Toronto. She forgot her age in her video. She's a voice actor. Mom died after an 18-year battle with cancer. Wants to be manipulative, used the word cutesy to describe herself, and then wants to go a different way. Also 34 years old. Richmond Hill is where she's from in Canada. She currently lives in Toronto. Will, I think I might have missed my chance, man. I didn't get cast at 34. I'm never getting cast. It's over. It's done, because this was my shot. This is
like what the traders did with 26. They just pick a number. They're like, let's make half the cast 26 years old. Now Survivor's like half the cast is 34 years old. Yeah,
it's true. What'd you get from Anna when you saw her?
I actually loved Anna. I think I see so much upside with her. I think she's got the quirkiness of Thien, but without being like over the top and extra and loud about it. Again, not that Tien's going to do that. I just see that potential with her. Like, she feels like she's very confident in who she is, and she's comfortably quirky and like confident about it, and not like trying to be jokey and cutesy. Like, I can see this cutesy being like more endearing than annoying. And I think she's someone who I forget what she said about her Survivor fandom and how much she knows the game. I mean, imagine pretty much most of the cast members are like not super duper fans, like Adam level, but like pretty big fans of the show. And so just from her, like the way she comes off, her personality, I felt very good about Anna.
Yeah, I have a big question mark next to her. I don't know if I like her or not after watching her video. I haven't read her questionnaire yet, but I'm a big question mark on her. I feel like, maybe I'll like her, maybe I won't. Like with Thien An, I feel like it was high ceiling, low floor. With Anna, it's not even that. It's just I don't really know what box she's going to fit into on the show, and I don't know where to go with her. So first disagreement we've really had. I
just feel like she's going to fit in. Like, she just feels like she's going to she knows how to fit into a group of people. It seems like that's going to come natural to her.
I think it's also very fun not knowing the tribes for the first time in a long time, because we always know the tribes, and it's like, well, who do they get along with on their tribe? What do you make the most of here? Who's gonna be the first one out? Like, we really truly don't know who Anna's gonna play with. And what do you think about the fact that it is 11 women and 10 men on this cast? Do you think that ever plays into it? Do you think that they are doing an even tribe distribution at the beginning? Like, what do you think?
I do think we pick the tribes. I think you get like one male captain, one female captain, probably, and then you have to pick somebody of the opposite gender, and then there you go.
Gotcha.
But that means does that mean
last person's out?
That guarantees that a woman's going to be the first boot or exiled, which isn't fair. So maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just pick however you want. I mean, I don't think that really matters. I mean, if you have an odd number, that's going to happen. There's no way around it. So,
All right, let's go over to her questionnaire here. 3 words: goofy, ambitious, chaotic. Why do you want to be part of Survivor? It's the perfect opportunity to lock into my competitive side. I love games, and who doesn't want to lie and deceive in a setting where it's totally acceptable to do so? 1, life experience. Being an actor means you need to have really thick skin. I've had extremely down moments, but I've always picked myself up and created a career that I'm proud of. Who do you want to play most like? Identify with Tony because he's chaotic. I would love to play most like Ricard, who is severely underrated. He'll tell you that. That player is a strategy mastermind. Yeah, Ricard will let you know. What will you value in an alliance partner? If an alliance partner is willing to divulge other secrets to me, I feel like they have put their trust in me, which is quite unfortunate for them because trusting me might be a mistake. Hobbies: video games, exploring new coffee shops, playing the piano, and have recently become a gym rat. Transition lens are a pet peeve. I can't speak. Pet peeves: transition lenses, people who enter the subway and don't go all the way in the train, and cheaters, both in relationships and games. Accomplishment you're most proud of is her career as a voice actor. What is something we would never know from looking at you? Honors degree in political science. That's cool, but like, okay. Biggest inspiration and why? Her mom. Boo. Why would you be this? Although that one is bad because that's literally because she fought cancer for 18 years. So I can't even boo that one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go,
That's a natural boo. I apologize. Whenever it's mom or dad, if you haven't listened to our podcast, if you're Anna and you heard that and you're like, screw these guys, we always boo the moms and dads, but this is one instance where it is totally justified. Why will you be the sole survivor? Because I'm hopefully not going to be afraid to take some creative liberties to either build more trust or cause some chaos. High risk, high reward. There you go. What do you think about her now? Any different? Or are you still feeling good?
I probably feel less good after the questionnaire. It felt very vanilla.
That's how I felt about her in the video too.
Yeah, but in the video, I don't know. I got to see her in her voice acting thing, and her when she was speaking to me, I felt like she was very engaging, and like I could see that she is, again, like I said, she's quirky without being like annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't feel quirky. I mean, I left out a lot of like parentheticals, but it doesn't feel quirky when you read it.
Yeah, the transition lenses is kind of funny. I agree with her. Like, I wear glasses and I like wear sunglasses too, obviously. Like and then it's really annoying having to like switch sunglasses, especially my eyes are super sensitive to light. So I wear sunglasses often. And everyone's like, why don't you just get transitional lenses? And I'm just like, I don't like how they look.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. I have to switch all the time. And I mean, we live in LA. There's no clouds in the sky ever. And every time I go outside, I'm like, I'm carrying my glasses.
I wear them inside the places that have like big windows. I'm like, it's so bright in here.
Yeah.
I gotta like.
Yeah. I don't know, Will. I think you might be off on Anna, but we'll see. Let's move on here to who do we have? We have Jelly, 29 years old, from Garland, Texas, and Midwest City, Oklahoma. Currently lives in Bloomington, Indiana. Means she must work at IU. Sociology professor. So she must be a sociology professor at Indiana University. What did I get from Jelly? She is a sociology professor. She introduced the survivor into her classes and wants to be humbled. I thought that was an interesting line, that she said she wants to be humbled. I liked Jelly a lot. I think the sociology professor element, teaching at a young age, 29 is a young age to be a professor, especially at like a big university like that. I like that. And I do think that the whole wanting to be humbled, that line really stood out to me, of like, you're somebody who's not going in there saying, I need to be the star of the show. I'm willing to take a step back. Now, will that ultimately be your personality? I don't know, but I loved that.
No, I really like that line too. And I think that she's teaching and 29 is not crazy on. I think 29 feels like a very good sweet spot for Survivor, especially New Era Survivor, and just in this cast in general. I think she's going to be able, like, she can hang out with the 34-year-olds, but she's like not old enough where it's like she's still 29, so she can still hang out with the 24, 25-year-olds too. And I don't know, I think that can really help her out, especially if she is, you know, a professor and she's around college kids or grad students or whoever. It's like she probably feels comfortable in that environment. And then, yeah, I got very good vibes from Jelly, I gotta say.
Yeah, and then we'll get into her questionnaire now. Curious, multifaceted, and passionate. Survivor's been a part of my family and life for as long as I can remember. First exposure to the sociological questions and experiments that would later lead to an entire career. Journey to PhD in sociology has undoubtedly prepared me to win this game. From my interview and ethnographic observation training to my critical thinking and analysis skills, my sociology background is my greatest weapon. Which previous player do you identify with most, and who do you think you'll play like the most? This is interesting, Will. Player I identify with most is Katura. Player I think I'll play most like is Shan, for better or worse.
This is the first I'm picking up on it. It's identify with and then play like as two separate.
I didn't realize that either. I was rushing
until
through that
now because I have like Katura, and then she's like, but I'm gonna play it. And I read the questions like, okay, I can see you like identifying like, oh, Katura wasn't Katura in sociology, maybe not. So she was in some like academic field like that.
I don't remember what Katura's job is, but like I can see Katura. Like, I mean, she had, Jelly had said, as a young black woman in this field, I've already made a name for myself and will do the same in Survivor. Like, I could see watching Katura play 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever it was at this point. You're 24, 25 years old, really connecting with Katura as
she was
like
civil rights attorney. So maybe not, but somewhat like academic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. What will you value in an alliance partner? I value transparency and innovation. Sometimes less ego-driven than myself, with a good bit of sarcastic humor and YOLO energy. Wow. So YOLO must be back, and I just didn't know it.
YOLO, I mean, we have a 29-year-old saying YOLO. Then who's the other person to say YOLO?
YOLO is Thien An, and she's 24.
She's 24. So, like,
we're cool again.
So it's not the 34-year-old saying YOLO.
We are cool again, Will. We got to bring it back now. Now that I know I can say it and not get laughed at, I'm ready.
We have to, like, modernize it, though. So we can be like, oh, this is giving YOLO.
Giving YOLO. Favorite hobbies: volleyball, running, writing, binge watching dystopian sci-fi series, debating and rapping to myself in the mirror, Issa Rae style. Pet peeves: can't stand overly boastful people who can brag about themselves all day, every day. I also can't stand people with black and white thinking who never question the norm or entertain alternative ideas or theories. People who don't care to think outside the box. I also don't like loud eathers. What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? Earning my PhD under the age 30 and writing a dissertation I can be proud of and share with everyone in the community. Something we'd never know from looking at you. I once won most comedic mascot at mascot camp. I was Weber the bear. Who in your life is your biggest inspiration? Grandma. Why will you be the sole survivor? Because I'm driven, passionate, brainiac, and an unsuspecting, beautifully wrapped package. Being a sociologist, I'm not only an expert at all things social, but I'm literally trained to immerse myself in any environment and social dynamic, take what I need and put it to good use. There's nobody better equipped to win a social experiment that is Survivor than the sociologists who create them. I like her, man. I really do.
Yeah, I think she's got good upside. I think we have Daryl Seymour saying Jelly is not winning. And I don't know. It's like, I'm not going to say she's not winning, but just I really like her. It's like almost like she's our highest floor. Like I really think she's going to do well in this game. And you don't have to win to play well or go far.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if she wins. I wouldn't like she's not like standing out as a potential winner pick, although I do think she's going to do well.
See, I think that she could win the game. She's not my winner pick from at least watching the initial video and everything, but I do feel like Jelly could do really well. Daryl Seymour says Jelly's going to think she's running stuff and then she'll get blindsided. I mean, that was Shan, and she did say for better or for worse, but Shan's also, in my opinion, still one of the top 3 or 4 most memorable players from the entire new era. It's not our fault they didn't put her back on 50, but I do feel like Jelly is going to be discussed whether she's the second person voted out or she makes it really far.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
All right, moving on. So, finally, we are at a man. Here we go.
Well, that's true. We haven't had... And I was so... Is his name Brady or Brody? Because he called himself Brody, but the title said Brady, and now in the Parade article it says Brady.
I have no idea, man. He did say Brody.
He said Brody the whole time.
Yeah, so maybe he's Brody. I don't know, but it says Brady Booker where I'm looking. 27, LaSalle, Illinois. Currently lives in Knoxville, Tennessee, pro wrestler. I do think it might be Brody. Anyway, Brady, Daryl Seymour says he's pre-merge boot for sure. I don't know. I mean, I think that might just be like assuming based on Jake going out, but he's an AEW wrestler, 7 years old, drove his truck. He got to drive the truck after killing a deer and eating the heart and liver or something like that, and then rubbing the blood on his face. Then he was allowed to drive the truck.
Country boy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, he has 3 degrees from college and he's very outdoorsy. I truly actually think that Brady could be vastly underestimated as just a meathead, and that could be good for him.
I really think that could be really, really good for him. I actually think there's a lot of upside to him. Nobody's going to think that he has a thought going on in his head. They're going to assume he's on the show to be the dumb jock. And I think that there's an upside to that.
I think there is upside to that, but I'm not so sure that he isn't the dumb jock. Like, I think there's a world where it's like, that's why he's on the show. I think he's going to be a big character. He's going to be lots of fun. I don't know if he's going to be cut out for the strategic part of this guy. I don't know if he's going to be thinking moves ahead. I think he can want to do that and say he can do that, but I just don't see if that's to me. He's like, you want him on your tribe for challenges. He makes the merge, and then he gets, like anywhere between like 12th and 8th place or something. Like we're doing Heroes, Healers, Hustlers over on Patreon. It's like, oh, he feels like this could be the Cole Metters boot. It's like he makes the merge, survives a vote or two, and then it's like, all right, time to go, buddy. Like you're not long. I just that's where I'm at.
I forgot how bad Cole Metters was at Survivor, man. He told everybody everything.
Yeah. I think this is somebody who's gonna want to play hard and participate in the gameplay. I just don't know if he's gonna be good at it.
So let's see if the questionnaire changed our minds. He's enthusiastic, intense, and fun. He loved watching the show together with his family. He loves adventure in the outdoors, competition, and being pushed. Job experience is prepared in the play. Involves long days, minimal sleep, and food, along with being able to politic your own social game. Identifies most with Jonathan from our size, ability, and loyal vibe. I believe we are two peas in a pod. I hope to model my game after him as the laid-back provider until it is time to strike in all capitals. He never actually says who he thinks he'll play most like, but I guess it's Jonathan. What will you value in an alliance partner? The biggest value I look for in alliance is trust. Hobbies, fun in the outdoors, hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, working out. Pet peeves, overly judgmental, lying, bad hygiene, and bad manners. Accomplishment you're most proud of is his career. Something we would never know from looking at you. Did gymnastics throughout his years of youth sports. Your life.
Was he the all-around champion?
That is a great question. Who in your life is the biggest inspiration and why? Parents, boo. Why will you be the sole survivor? I'll be the sole survivor because I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I am used to falling on my face and coming back stronger. Then we have from Meme View here. I'd be worried that Brady is going to eat my heart and drink my blood if I was on that island. Does your opinion change at all from reading this? Or does him saying Jonathan, does that actually give you hope that he's going to go further in the game? Because he's going to have studied Jonathan's game enough to know how to lay low enough to at least get to 4th place.
It doesn't, the questionnaire didn't change anything for me. And thank you, Meme View, for the super chat.
Yes. Thank you, Meme View. I am curious. Jonathan, a lot of people I think would laugh at that and be like, oh, well, Jonathan finished 4th place and 2nd place and played a pretty damn good 2nd place game.
Yes. No, so I think the Jonathan comparison is fine. And look, I think he's the first person to not mention a winner.
Yeah. Well, no, Jelly just did it too.
It was Katura. Oh, Katura and Shan. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, picking a non-winner is fine. I stand by, like, I think he's going to be good TV. He's going to be fun. I just don't I don't see how he pulls off a win here. Like, unless he's just got it. I just don't think, it didn't get the sense. I wish we could go back and watch like the Nicaragua casting videos and just like, could we just watch Fabio and like, what would have been our reaction? We would probably said he has no chance at winning, but Fabio's, I don't know. Maybe you could have seen it with Fabio if he's like, I'm going to play dumb a bit. I don't know. Does Brady say the same thing or Brody say the same thing? Did he have that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't.
I mean, I said earlier, Alexis is on the show to be a winner. Brady's on the show to be a character. I mean, if he wins, it's accidental. He's on the show. He's on the show to be the John Hennigan, to be the Jonathan. Like he's on there to be, whoa, did you see what he did? And then that's that.
Yeah.
So next. Sorry, I have to write down the time every time. Well, all right, next. We are up to Carter Kroll, 24, Rock Rapids, Iowa, Sioux Falls, South Dakota is where he lives now, livestock farmer. So it says he is a farmer, has a snow cone truck, a moving company, loves being busy, wants to be the good guy. Very, very Iowa. He just keeps talking about Iowa. It was shocking to me that he actually doesn't currently live in Iowa with how much he talked about being Iowa. You ever been to Sioux Falls, Will?
I have never been to either Dakota, and I've never been to Iowa.
Let me tell you something, Will. You are not missing much never going to Sioux Falls or South Dakota in general. Maybe Carter will hate that I say that, but I was not a fan of South Dakota. Anyway, he's a farmer. What did you get from Carter?
I got like instant JT vibes,
Wow, that's
but
Daryl's.
I think he's playing like however like what 30 seasons, 40 seasons too late. Like I don't think he doesn't feel like he's going to participate or be able to participate successfully in the open era with a lot of twist and trinkets and items and advantages and like he seems like if he played in the first 10 or 20 seasons, he could be a winner of this show. But I don't see him as like a competent modern or open era player. That was kind of my initial vibe. Like he seems like a good dude. Like he seems like people are gonna like him. He's gonna get along. He's gonna help out at camp. He's gonna work hard. But I didn't get. I don't know.
He's somewhat similar to Kyle for me, where it's like he's different than what the casting is normally doing, but I don't necessarily think that means he's gonna pop. Kyle certainly had his fans, and I'm talking about Kyle from 47.
Yeah, and it seems like they always cast like one kind of country sweetheart. We saw this with Hunter in 46, Kyle in 47, and they're just not quite savvy enough game-wise, is what tends to happen with the country boy archetype.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, there's definitely more country people on this season, and we'll get to some in a little bit, but I do kind of agree with you on this. So let's go to the questionnaire. Adventurous, competitive, determined. Survivor's been on the bucket list. You never know when your last day will be. Open a snow cone trunk kind of put me in the tropical mood. That's what he thinks prepared him for the game. Enjoys the thrill of Tony, but is going to be a cross between Rob, Ozzy, Tony, and Sam Phelan. What do you value in alliance partner communication? Favorite hobbies? Woodworking. Grandpa Schaefer built his own house. That's why my high school shop teacher, Grant Engel, showed me how to work with epoxy. I love making river resin tables. If you chew with your mouth open, that's a pet peeve. You just as well pack your bags and head home. Life's too short for that. What's the accomplishment you're most proud of? One of my buddies and I started a moving company from scratch, started by doing some pretty small odds and ends moving, and now are helping people relocate all across the U.S. Something they would not know by looking at you, can make really weird whistling noises with the back of his throat. Who's your biggest inspiration and why? Mom and dad. Boo. See, this is why we boo. It's every freaking time. Like, there's got to be somebody else who inspires you. And if it's always your mom and dad, like, go outside. Anyway, why will you be the sole survivor? It's got to be one of us roundheads. Why not me?
Yeah, see, like that answer, like that seems like it'd be a pretty chill, likable, amicable guy. Like he's gonna get along with everybody. He's gonna do fine in that department. But like the whole like, why are you gonna win? Oh, well, it's gotta be one of us. Oh shucks, man. I hope it's me. Like that doesn't win Survivor in the modern day. Like this is season 51.
Yeah, I'm mixed on Carter. I feel like Carter's the guy, you know, like what you were saying with Brady, where he finishes somewhere between like 12th and 8th or something like that.
Yeah, I see that same spot, that same region.
Yeah, and maybe he goes out early because of crazy swaps and everything like that. I'm sure he'll be good at the challenges, but challenges aren't everything in this newer version of Survivor. And if you're not getting along, and if people, the only thing that might be able to work in his favor is he might actually take a little bit of a backseat role. But I do feel like that Carter, more often than not, is going to fall to the background on this season and go out in a very like mid-tier placement.
Yeah, or he could be like pre-merge but post-swap.
Yes. Next. All right. We are up to Cristian Chavez, 26, Salt Lake City, Utah, head of HR. Cristian says that he has the loudest laugh Survivor's ever heard. People will be able to hear him from all over the island. And then all I could think of was Jeremiah's damn laugh. And from 49.
And Jeremiah's voice. It was totally Jeremiah vibes through and through with Cristian. And we weren't high on Jeremiah, and I'm not high on Cristian, I gotta say.
Yeah, Christian's other things about him. He says he's extra and he knows it. Started college at 15 and a half and graduated very early, and says he's a heartless bitch. Okay, here's the thing with Cristian. Jeremiah's game wasn't that bad. If you're getting the big comparison, I'm loud and I have like a similar voice and all that. Also, like, not very big. Jeremiah's game wasn't bad. They were just on the disaster tribe. Jake gets bit by the snake. All that stuff fell apart. Cristian, like, I don't feel like is doomed to go out early.
No,
It's just
I don't
100% going to depend on who's on his starting tribe. Because if he does not get a good batch, he's toast.
Yeah, in like when the Jeremiah comparison isn't necessarily negative just because Jeremiah went out so early, because there were circumstances that you just explained. I do think it's like the issue is I have the loudest laugh, I'm extra, and he's telling us all these things. It's good that he's aware of it. Like I said, with Camilla, kind of said some things like that. She at least had the self-awareness. But man, like I'm not, like if I'm looking at Cristian, like I'm like, is he helping us win challenges? I don't know. Is he bugging me at camp? Maybe, if he's laughing too loud. So if he's being too extra, I can't say that I see good things for Cristian.
All right, so he's fun, chaotic, loud, loves competition, definitely practicing small challenges with his dad growing up. He'd put together little activities just like smaller Survivor challenges. Identifies most with Ty, wants to play as a weird mix of Ty, Suri, Tony, and Carolyn. That's kind of a fun mix. I will give him that. What do you value in an alliance partner? Someone who thinks differently than me, but can also hear my side. Favorite hobbies: baking, being with family, philosophy, playing with my son, feeding ducks. Pet peeves: being mean to animals, logical inconsistencies, people getting upset/mad, someone crying or showing emotion. Accomplishment you're most proud of: getting my master's degree at 21. Something we would never know from looking at you: I'm a dad. I can be cutthroat when I need to be. I have a very loud laugh. I have a strong aversion of worms. Who is your biggest inspiration? Mom. Boo. Why will you be the sole survivor? Because not only am I willing to do anything to win, but if I'm not winning, I'll do whatever it takes to make everyone else lose. You know, another thing that I'm really noticing with this cast, their biggest accomplishment is always something either college related or their career. That has just been it, other than early on with Alexis, where she said her biggest accomplishment was like being sober for 10 years or something like that. Everybody's has been college, with something they did college wise, or their career. That's weird to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I get why that's the case. I don't know if it's necessarily weird. I think it's just not that interesting. It's like if your biggest accomplishment is college, it's like, all right, well, that clearly means you're probably a pretty young person. And not that challenge isn't impressive, but like I remember when I was in college and we had the big graduation ceremonies and everyone's parents fly in and there's dinners and parties. I'm like, why? Like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, you're like, why are we celebrating? Like, you went to college for 4 years. Great. Graduating. Like, go do something with it. That's what you should celebrate. But I guess, you know, if you're young, if you're 26 and you have a master's degree, like that's pretty cool, I guess. Like,
it's just, to me, it tells me nothing about the people. And while I do think that this cast is unique compared to like what we were seeing with some of the new era, I do feel like we've leveled out a little bit. It still feels so samey. Like how do we have 7 people or 6 people already over the first 8 who are all saying the same answer of either career or college? Like there are so many people who
Phil, what is your biggest accomplishment?
That's not their greatest accomplishment.
What's your biggest accomplishment? This podcast?
It might be. I mean, it's either this podcast or literally moving across the country 3 times. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like constantly...
Did you just give somebody who'd you give crap for? Oh, you moved to Miami and then you went to Rhode
but that's
Island.
not the reason why. It's being unhappy in the places that you are and being willing to take chances and move. That's more of why that would be an accomplishment for me. A lot of people, they would get into the situation. I owned a house and I lived in a nice town. Most people would be like, well, I'm not totally happy, but this is my life now. And that's why that would be a big accomplishment for me. But like, it wouldn't be graduating from Miami, and it certainly wouldn't be getting my master's. That's for sure. Because that place, anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And it's not. Right. It's not my parents. They're not my biggest inspiration.
I think it's the podcast.
What's your biggest accomplishment? Probably working on Survivor and then becoming like a producer, right?
I mean, but that's work related. Is that not allowed to be like, oh, I designed puzzles?
Yeah, that's what you're boring as hell. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got to design challenges for Survivor. That's pretty boring.
Yeah, I mean, I think designing challenges for Survivor is a little bit different than just like career. Like, I'll give it to Brady. He's in the AEW, but like, it's like, hey, like, I mean, he got his master's at 21, and I'm not trying to be a dick. It's like, but he's head of HR right now. It's like, okay, that's cool, but also like, I don't know. To me, that's not like, whoa, I got to be this guy. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of career stuff here and
Sure.
a lot of college stuff.
And honestly, you like the player you identify with. You're like, that's an interesting mix.
I
Ty,
do.
Sari, Tony, Carolyn. I feel like those are all just like Ty. I feel like okay, that's a little bit interesting, but then you're just grabbing stuff that's like right. This is eye level at the grocery store if you're reaching for Sari, Carolyn,
Mm.
and Tony.
Now,
You
the
know,
thing is, though, if he actually is able to pull off a combination of that,
but I
Cristian
just
is going to be
there's
amazing.
But it's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna like, what are you making for dinner tonight? Oh, I'm doing like a ramen pizza, chicken Caesar salad combo with mashed potatoes." And you're like, "Huh? Like what? Huh? What? I don't think that exists. I don't think that's actually a thing." And I think that's kind of what I'm getting at.
So can Cristian win or no?
I don't think so.
I actually think he can. After all that, after shitting on this, I think he actually can win. I do. I really think that Cristian could surprise and
I
actually
think a
win the
lot would
game.
have to go right for Cristian early to like if he gets to the merge.
He's
Like if
dangerous.
he gets his footing, I think he's got like yeah, I think he maybe has that end game upside, but I really don't see him lasting that long. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
All right, let's move on. We are up to Daniel Kilby. So Kilby, 30 years old, Mount Forest, Canada, lives in London, Ontario, game designer, hustler, hard time fitting in, but that's the beauty of Survivor is everybody needs to stand out. He's a huge Survivor dork, says he's really great at puzzles, like disturbingly so. He is the big super duper fan. I know he does a podcast. I forget what the name of the podcast is.
He
I
has
should
a
have looked it up before
podcast?
doing this. He does, but he didn't mention any of his stuff, which I thought was interesting. I think it's called like the winner's game or something like that. Somebody probably knows. I will say when I heard that he was going to be on the cast, St. Cliffo says Brandon Donlin 2.0, which is funny. Brandon's been saying that like crazy too. It is like the exact same cast photo, same everything. Here's my thing with him. When I heard he was going to be on, I, listened to a little bit of the podcast. I saw his picture. I was like, oh, that's cool. Hearing him here, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about Kilby fizzling out in a very similar way to a lot of other super duper fans who love the game a lot and then get out there and it just they get in their own head. I don't know. I don't have high hopes. I can't believe I'm saying that either. I thought he was going to be
I felt great about Kilby just because it seems like
wow.
he has the super fan angle without being the super fan nerd because like he's got the long hair, he's got a little bit of the bro energy or like party. He's got like the name
I didn't
Kilby.
get that at all from him.
Oh, see, I didn't get full nerd, even though he totally is. And I think like he's got this little broy vibe that might be disarming. Well, let's read through the questionnaire. I mean, I don't know. The way he talked was like it just felt like he was more of a bro, like a dude than like this like nerdy
I
fan.
didn't feel like he was, man. I didn't get that at all from him. I felt like he was super excited to be there, and I feel like getting on is the win. He's wacky, chaotic, playful. Biggest dream of his whole life is being part of Survivor. When I was a kid, Survivor is my favorite show. Survivor's given me so much. Met my girlfriend playing a fan-made Survivor game. She lives in Florida. We'd never have met if not for Survivor. What's one life experience you think has prepared you? Student government really taught me to delegate tasks, manage a bunch of different people and egos. All my weird hobbies honestly prepared me to think quickly, connect with people, and be confident. And then board games taught me to execute complex plans. Which previous player do you identify with most, and who do you think you will play most like? Most identify with Todd Herzog or Ben Katzman. Okay, so maybe I need to be a little bit higher on him now. I'm a good guy. I'm a good vibes guy. And when 46 aired, I got 9,000 messages. People telling me I remind them of Ben. I'll play the most like David Wright, aggressive, bold moves built on empathetic, deep bonds. What do you balance an alliance partner? I look for someone if I'm playing with, I want to know someone's real laugh before I lock in so I know when they're lying in future. Favorite hobbies, video games, volleyball, soccer, filmmaking / watching films, WWE events, online reality games, Blood on the Clock Tower, board games, karaoke, dancing, performing improv, Lego puzzles, kayaking, dodgeball. Pet peeves, when people say an obvious thing, act like it's brilliant. Rich people who want to act like they've had a hard life. And when people tell you wrestling is fake. Complainers, why can't you just make the most of it? Accomplishment you're most proud of: the first in the family to graduate from high school and go to university. Something we never know from looking at you. I come off as happy-go-lucky, oddball hippie, and that's true, but I've suffered a lot. There's a lot more to me than meets the eye. Who in your life is your biggest inspiration and why? Stepdad Bruce. Boo. Why will you be the sole survivor? Can make anyone love me and feel the most special person in the world. My social game is bomb. I have grit like no one else, and I'll never stop smiling. I'm a strategic, crazy, mad scientist, and I'll always think my way out of any problem. Dude, here's the thing. I love the Todd, Ben, David Wright answer, but everything else, I still have the same vibe of like, it's going to be too much. It's going to eat him alive.
But him saying, I got 9,000 messages that you're exactly like Ben, like, and he even says here, I come off as a happy-go-lucky oddball hippie. And it's like, that's kind of the vibe I got. Like, he's got the good vibes, brother. Like, we're just hanging out, even though he's got this like super fan lore where like he met his girlfriend playing like a live reality game or an online reality gamers. Like it's a good combination, I think. I don't think it's,
you know what it is for me? I don't think of like Ben Katzman as like a bro. Like like when I think of bro, I think of like Brady. That's what I'm thinking of.
Right,
like
maybe not full bro, but like good hang. Like, and maybe I should have been. Maybe it's not.
But if everybody's saying he's like Ben Katzman, and I love Ben, can Ben ever win Survivor? I don't think so.
Right, but Ben didn't have this super fan background at all.
Yeah, not to the level Danny does.
That's what I mean. That's why it's like he seems like he is gonna be a pretty disarming dude while having all of the power and knowledge of like that Survivor fandom. And look, he might fizzle out because he's too excited. Like, I do see what you're saying. Like, he says everything has been leading to today. Like, this is it for like, this is his big life goal right now. And if he might put too much pressure on himself, so like he might stumble, but like I see this combination of being when I mean bro, like he's gonna be there to like hang out and have a good time. He seems personable, he seems funny, he's chill, and then to have like the whole nerdy secret, it's like a secret weapon almost.
Yeah, the other thing with him is like he's been thinking about these answers his whole life. I mean, I've thought about the questionnaire I would fill out for this too. And like you even think about somebody like Andy who did really well on Survivor. Those first couple days ate him alive. The pressure gets there. I mean, even Cochran, who's a future winner, that first 3 days was miserable for him.
Yeah,
and I just worry about that.
But Cochran won. Andy almost won, honestly.
Yeah. Like, then for every one of them, there's a Jacob Derwin and a Brandon Donlin.
Sure.
So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, look, I'm not going to count him out. I'm not going to say he can't win. I'm just saying he is not what I thought he was going to be when I read his bio or when I had originally seen that he was on the show. So, all right, let's keep moving on, huh?
Sure.
So we're up to Devin Way, 33 years old from Lufkin, Texas, lives in LA, is an actor. Devin, what did Devin have to say? He says, if Joe and Devin's had a baby, it would be him.
That was
so do I even need to read anything else, or are you done?
I was out. Well, honestly, I was out before because his video, he seemed a little bit like, I don't know, a little bit too cocky, a little bit too like, I'm so charming, I'm so suave and smooth, like I'm gonna just win these people over. Like he just felt a little too sure of himself that he's got this thing in the bag, and that does not often work out for people. And then he goes to say he's gonna be like Joe. I'm like, oh man, now I am fully out.
And it's funny because Joe and Devin's, like, people are saying, how could they ever grow up?
That's like the ramen, pizza, Caesar salad, mashed potato.
Yeah.
Dish. It's like, that doesn't make sense. What are you saying?
He says he's going to lie about being an actor. Sorry, go ahead. No, you got it. Just keep going.
I'm just thinking, like, what would a Joe Devins combo look like? Maybe it's like you're taking part. So it's like the loyalty of Joe. I think that's what he mentioned. It's like, I want to be in a loyal alliance. I want to give people my word and mean it. But having the, I don't know, the energy and the livelihood and the fun and maybe the little goofiness of a Devins without the kind of deception and manipulation that Devins pulls off. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Or maybe it's just because his name is Devin and then it's Rick Devins. And that's why that's the only thing that he has in common.
He says he's going to lie about being an actor. He had hillbilly drug addict parents. He pretty much hated everything. He was talking about all the things he hates, but he loves people. Like he doesn't like camping, doesn't like being outside, all of that stuff, but he loves people. I don't know, man. This feels like the good looking, muscular guy who goes out early and you're like, oh, how did that happen? But let's read his bio.
Okay.
Charming, playful, loyal. Nothing else like this in the world. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. One of the best games ever existed. I play Dungeons and Dragons every week, and the game teaches you to roll dice, and no matter what happens, you can figure it out. Rick Devins, who I want to play like. I identify Joe a lot. His integrity and love for his family mixed with the grief of losing a sibling tragically. What will you value in an alliance partner? Loyalty and honesty. So the second I find out you lied or betrayed me, I'll be looking for a new alliance. That sounds like Joe. I don't like that.
That's not good. We always say one of the best things you can do is forgive someone for turning on you and be open to working with them again. It's a trait of a great player.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Well, favorite hobbies: line dancing, Dungeons and Dragons, spoken word, game nights with friends, karaoke, reading comics, going to the gym, sitting in the park. Pet peeves: people who look down on others or treat people like less than. Big accomplishment you're most proud of. Right now, making it on Survivor 51. I kind of like that. That it's just like this. This is sick. Something we never know from looking at you. 12 brothers and sisters. I'm number 7 in the group. Biggest inspiration is his grandma. And why would be the survivor always? Why will you be the sole survivor? Because Waze always wins.
Wait, what always wins?
Waze always win. That's what it says. I guess that's like a family motto. So.
Oh, because his last name is Way.
Yeah.
So you're saying because of your last name that you are now predetermined to have something like that, nothing on your own.
He is the way. Yeah, Devin is there for the he's there as a character, not a winner. And I honestly think that we see this kind of archetype every now and then where it's like good looking, young-ish guy, not like early 20s, but like a little bit older by Survivor standards.
Yeah, this is old for this
really
archetype.
Love the game,
And I just looked him up on Instagram. He does have some sort of foundation or charity work for like Native Americans or something. Native American services. And it's just interesting that wasn't mentioned at all in his video or questionnaire. And that seems like a very heartfelt thing that he clearly has put a lot of time and effort into by looking at it quickly. So maybe it's like CBS is going out of their way to show him as somebody he's not. Like they're like pushing, he's our overconfident, good-looking charmer who's gonna get blindsided. I mean, maybe there's a world where it's like there's Caleb upside where he actually is as charming as he says he is. And it's everyone's just like, oh my God, this guy's great. And we're kind of giving him a heart. Because look, you can say you're charming and you can be cocky and confident about it, but you could also be correct and be like, well, yeah, you are charming. I mean, that's it. And it works. You could also say you're charming and you're the best and everything, and you could be completely wrong. And you could just have a, incorrect perception of yourself. So I don't know which way it goes. I'm leaning the latter, but maybe now that I've kind of looked into this, maybe he's going to charm everyone. But even that, if you charm everyone, you're going to go at the merge. So
hey, 123D says, yeah, I've never seen him act that way. He's in that the way he is in that video. He's so sweet and down to earth. Hey says that they know Devin. So
wow,
maybe
I mean that's what I mean. The charity thing that he clearly like puts on. It seems like he puts on like a big event. To raise money. It's like you weren't getting that at all from the video.
No. And I just got to say this, man, like we had 2 seasons of Joe, right? We had 2 seasons of Joe. I like Joe as a person, but I did not really like Joe as a Survivor player.
No,
and I feel like
no one likes Joe as a Survivor player.
And that's what's giving me here. Bobby Hall says Devin gives likable. Y'all are crazy. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think he can be likable.
You can be likable and not good.
Yeah, I don't.
Joe is likable.
Yeah, Joe got no votes, right? Or did he get 1 vote?
He got 1 vote in 2 final threes. Yeah. Anyway, let's go.
The ultimate goat. All right, you read this one or talk about. I gotta go get a water.
You gotta get a water. I'm dying. All right, we are up to Eric Maxoud, 34, Lincoln, Rhode Island, lives in Windsor Lakes, Connecticut, mental health counselor. He's a clinician, abandonment and rejection wounds. He said intentions are good, but fangs will come out. That's what I got from him. So I'm just going to start reading the bio since Will's not here to help. Animated, charismatic, empathic. Sorry. As someone who loves people and learning about what makes people tick, Survivor is the ultimate celebration of the human experience. It's one life experience you feel has prepared you for this. Being involved in community theater has definitely prepared me for Survivor. And each show I'm in, I'm thrown into a new group of people that are all different ages, backgrounds, and skill sets. Which previous player do you identify with the most, and who do you think you will play like? When I saw Dom Abate on Ghost Island, it felt like I was looking into a mirror and seeing where I'll be in a few years. He's charming, slightly sassy, East Coast Italian American man. Like Dom, I also plan on taking calculated risks. What will you value in an alliance partner? Someone that'll display with continuous trust and loyalty that I can joke and laugh with, that'll be open-minded and non-judgmental. Favorite hobbies: community theater, jamming on the electric guitar, going on adventures with my fiance, watching horror movies, swimming, playing board games with friends, and petting my cats. Pet peeves: people with low emotional intelligence, maturity, people who take themselves too seriously, super machismo type guys, reckless drivers, and bad grammar. This accomplishment you're most proud of, aside from meeting and becoming engaged to love of my life. In that case, I'd say passing my licensing exam, something I take a lot of pride in. I like, though, that he led with the being engaged and marrying. That's better. What is something we would never know from looking at you? Probably couldn't guess that I'm trained in Muay Thai kickboxing and that I used to be a competitive swimmer from age 8 until my senior year of college. Who's your biggest inspiration in life? Fiance Gina DeVito. It's better than mom and dad. Why would we be sole survivor? I'm an emotionally intelligent person who can form close bonds to a short amount of time and will adapt to whatever a person needs in order to maintain trust. I'm able to read people successfully and convince others to shift their perspectives as needed, all while having enough self-awareness and control to know when to lead or when to follow. I can also be in touch with my feelings and self-regulate so that the stress and anxiety I face will not hold me back from making tough decisions. Before you say anything about Eric, I just have to say Bobby Hall saying David Kinney was not likable. Y'all are just saying stuff now. David Kinney was the best part of season 48. Don't you tell me otherwise. All right. Anyway, what do you think about Eric? Will, I need a break. You have water. I need water. There it is.
Can you just repeat that? I was getting
I got you.
I see high ups. I think this is high upside, but also very like low floor too. I think it seems like he wants to play like Dominic, or he sees Dominic in himself, and I kind of agree with him on that. Like I felt that when watching his video. It just is he going to get found out? Are people going to see through him quickly? Especially in an era of Survivor where they're casting players that are super fans that are going to want to play hard. Like, everyone's saying in their interviews behind the scenes, like, oh, I can't wait to blindside people, or I'm going to be the most, like, I'm not here to make friends and all that, like, Survivor cliche nonsense. But I feel like if you get out there with Eric, you look at him, you're like, I don't know. Like, he might get figured out, but if he doesn't get figured out, like, I see him as a potential winner. Like, he is so far one of the few people where I'm like, that guy is winner potential right there. But he could get figured out.
Well, and the thing was with Dom was also somebody, when you first saw his stuff, he comes across as aggressive and loud, and it was very Tony-ish. Dom's the best runner-up in the history of the show. Like, and Eric, I feel like Eric's going to game no matter what. It's just what version of Eric is Eric. And because we're on HHH, is he more of a Joe Mena or is he more of a Dom? And I think those are the two areas here. Because Joe Mena, I love Joe Mena. I would watch Joe Mena on every season. I just said that in HHH when we were doing our Patreon episode. But like, Joe Mena, he needs the most particular set of circumstances to actually win the game. Dom could win any version of Survivor. So where does Eric fall in that?
Yeah, emotionally the thing is, like, I kind of buy like the way he was describing himself. Like, I buy that he is like emotionally intelligent and he's capable of like forming strong bonds and that he'll have the strategic chops. I know it's possible. It's just like I think this cast, there's going to be a lot of people that could just look at Eric and be like, there's something up with that guy. He's got the smarm a bit, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the picture's not helping. The hands rubbing together in the striped shirt with
he's like out there to be like the strategic mastermind. Like, that's what he's going out.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
Do people catch on and he goes early, or are people like charmed by him and he runs the season? I see both scenarios playing. Like, I'm giving him a chance to win here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, because like you also think like kind of gives like Voce vibes. Voce went out about as early as you can go. So it's we'll see. Moving on. Jenna Door.
Door.
That is what that is, right?
I mean, that's it. It's just the last name Door. It's just it's interesting.
Okay, Will's got us here.
Phil Window.
Here we go. So Jenna, she is 30 years old, from Perrysburg, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, wedding photographer. So Jenna said wedding photographer had a survivor clause in all of her photo contracts and loves games. Those were the things I got from her video. I love the survivor clause in all of her contracts. I think that's
hilarious.
Awesome. That's amazing. And I love that. And I love that it actually came to fruition for her.
Yeah. I got such good vibes from her. Like, I think she's winning upside. She might be my winner pick. I don't know if I'm going to go that far.
Oh, she's doomed. Sorry, Jenna.
The only thing, and I feel like this is with a lot of this cast, and maybe it's because we got these videos and it's not so much the cast, it was just the format of how they're presented. So we got more of them than we usually do. But it's again this line of like, okay, you're energetic, you're fun, you're bubbly, you're charismatic. Are you going to be annoying? Like, are you going to be too much? And I know I keep saying that, but she seems like a loud, kind of wacky, but she seems also very put together and like she's a wedding photographer, probably has her own business, and like is clearly a Survivor super fan. He's going to know the game. She's going to know what to do in certain situations. I believe that. But like, is she going to be just the loud out there, too goofy, too extra? Again, that's a lot of what I'm feeling. If she toes the line, though, I think she wins the game. Like, I really feel good about Jenna. I don't know. What'd you feel? I felt
I love that clause thing. I mean, to me, that's great. I always tell people like that I work with, it's like, you know, I'm going to leave this job if I get on Survivor or if I like sell a script. Like, those are the two reasons I'm leaving. And like, you tell people that because it's like, look, you never know. You put that in the world, maybe that's what happens. And I feel like Jenna putting that in every clause of like, I plan on shooting your wedding. But I love that. I think that's great. I love that energy. Let's go to her questions and see. Empathetic, determined, energetic. Family's nickname for her is Energy. Where to begin? For starters, my lifelong dream to play. I've watched my fam since I was 7. I was the kid begging my parents to let me stay up to watch finale past my bedtime. But more than that, Survivor is all about putting yourself outside your comfort zone. She negotiated by making up her own immunity challenge, a 1-minute long handstand, and she accomplished that after hours of trying. That's how she got to stay up late. Being a wedding photographer has prepared her for the game. She has the best job ever, but it's easy to write her off as the cute little wedding photographer. Which previous player to identify with most and who do you want to play most? I honestly hope to be a combo of Charlie and Kenzie. That's interesting. Kenzie for her social skills and ability to be everybody's buddy. Charlie for his intentional gameplay focused on keeping options open and letting himself be underestimated by others. What do you look for in an alliance partner? Honestly, vibes. I want to work with people I genuinely connect with on a human level. I like that. The vibes rather than just honesty. I thought it was gonna be honesty. So many people have said honesty. That's not good. Favorite hobbies. I love writing. Mostly I write poetry and love reading poetry as well. I also love to run and I'm always down for an adventurous hike. Pet peeves. Can't think of many, but catch me after 26 days on the island. I'm sure I'll have a few. Accomplishment you're most proud of? Building my business. What is something we would never know from looking at you? I think I give off sweet, bubbly, artistic girl, but I've got savvy, strategic side. In fact, in all the wedding contracts I sent out in the last 5 years, Survivor clause. So that is her, what you didn't know. Who's your biggest inspiration in life? I mean, she can't win because it's her mom and dad. Boo. Boo.
Well, everyone puts that. I mean, if all 21 people put their mom and dad,
you got to find the people who don't. Will, this is the new thing for anything. You got it. I normally save that one for Blake, but we have it for this now. Whenever somebody says mom and dad.
No, I mean, wait, didn't we have?
I got to do why she'll be sole survivor.
Oh, Jelly put her grandma.
Yeah, Jelly was grandma, I think. So back before I ever heard anything from Survivor, I wrote this little poem inspired by my dream to play. It says, I can't wait for you to look back at all these times you believed in it, believe it was visible. But then I had an idea. What if I could give this poem to anyone who wants them, but in exchange, they have to tell me their dream. Gave away 154 poems. I'll be the sole survivor because I have an army of people who are believing in me. I'm playing for them.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I think the questionnaire even pushed me more over the edge of like, I'm going to say it right now. Winner pick.
You haven't even heard. I think we're 88 minutes into this podcast. I think we're only like 13 people in, Will. You still have 8 people left.
Yeah, but I watched the videos.
Yeah, but you watched the videos a while ago.
I don't know, like an hour ago.
Yeah,
An
that's
hour
actually
and 28 minutes ago.
somehow Will watched the video while I was reading off one of the things and he was pretending he already saw it.
No, it was like basically an hour before we started recording this podcast.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I like Jenna. I do. I agree with you. Somebody, Daryl Seymour says, imagine Jenna leaves first in Survivor 50 and wins Survivor 51. Now that's poetic, and there's your poem. I like that. I mean, look, I think Jenna's got a lot of positive here. I do like Jenna a lot.
Charlie answer, I think, is like so good too. And like Kenzie, I know she's a winner. Kenzie's not eye level at the grocery store. You got to reach a little bit for Kenzie.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you ready? Moving on. Are you ready to move on? I couldn't tell. Cool. Kristin Flickinger, 49 years old, oldest person on the season. Ketchum, Idaho, best known from the Boy Genius song. Santa Barbara, California is where she currently resides. Crisis management. So Kristin, 49, crisis consultant, queer in Idaho, has been working in LGBTQ plus for 25 plus years, been applying the whole time Survivor has been on. I loved Kristin's energy from her video. I loved her energy from the video. Like, could not get enough of it. I have not read this questionnaire yet. I am very, very high on Kristin. I think being the oldest person on this season, you tell me Kristin's 49, I tell you you're lying. I do not buy that. I think she comes across as much younger. Massive fan, been applying literally since the beginning. I love to see a dream come true. I don't know, man. I'm very high on Kristin.
I am high on her as like, I'm glad that she got cast. I think we need more different types of people, and she feels like maybe a not even old school casting choice, maybe a middle season cat, like the 30s. She feels like this would have been someone cast in the 30s. So like I'm like that we're mixing it up in the new era. My fear is that she is the oldest, and like the cast is pretty young. It's like how many 34-year-olds are there? How many 26 and 24-year-olds? It feels like a very young cast. And is she going to be able to fit in? Not like that she can't fit in socially. It's like, can she make it all the way to the end and win and get their jury votes, and that she's going to resonate with this cast fully enough to win? I don't see that happening. I don't see her as really having any winning upside. I think she can be a big character. I think she can play a very strong game. I just don't see her getting all the way to the end.
See, I think she has a lot of winning upside. I really do. I think that there's a lot of winning upside because I think that she's the oldest, but not out of touch. Like that was the whole thing with Gabler, right? It's like he's got the whole like metal background, and that worked for him. Denise being a therapist on her season. This cast is mostly in their 30s. So they're young, but it's not like they're in their early 20s. This isn't the Ghost Island cast of like, look how old Angela is. And you're like, wait, Angela and Dom are the only two people on this cast over 40. I think that's correct. Like, that's crazy. And everybody was like early 20s. Like, I think Bradley was one of the oldest people on the season. I think he was 25 when he played. Like, it was absurd. I don't feel like this is too old of a cast, but let's look at the bio to see what happens with Kristin. And right off the bat, Kristin's already down in my winner rankings now. 3 words to describe you: determined, joyful. If you can't count the 3, you're not gonna be able to run the votes very well. That's all I'm saying, Kristin. God. Why do you want to be part of Survivor? I've been applying for Survivor since the middle of season 1. That's crazy. I mean,
so nuts.
Good for Kristin. That's why I always say maybe I should give up on this shit. It's like, you can't. You cannot give up on applying for Survivor. Since the middle of this is the longest time anybody's ever gone. And it's literally 25, 26 years of applying. That's crazy. One life experience you feel prepared you for this game. My entire existence prepared me for this game. Growing up in the mountains of Idaho, navigating the world as a queer woman, leading teams, finding and sometimes making community, and turning my traumas into a career. Which previous player to identify with most, and who do you think you'll play most like? Rachel Lamont. She's the first player who played the way I think about the game: quirky, likable, smart, innovative, and lucky. What will you value in an alliance partner? Dream alliance partner, someone I can know in my bones, wants to go to the end with me, and has the ability to think innovatively through complex situations quickly. Also someone who wants to get up to mischief. Papaya bandits, anyone. Favorite hobbies: road cycling, training my husky dog to talk with buttons, applying for Survivor. Pet peeves. I really dislike the term pet peeve. Like, what even is that? Sounds like a poltergeist dog. Crumbs on the kitchen counter. Really, any surface, send me. What's the accomplishment you are most proud of creating an intergenerational culinary arts program for LGBTQ plus youth and seniors. Thousands of people have had their lives touched by that program. Something we never know from looking at you. I carry rocks in my bra, usually for protection, but it changes based on my mood and any particular meetings I have that day. Okay.
Now,
Who in your life is your biggest inspiration? And why? Honestly, a long time ago, I decided to be my own inspiration. I draw strength from nature, family, friends, ancestors, connection we all have. Why be the sole survivor? The stars are literally aligned for an Aries for the next 26 days. Like, for real, the sun, planets, everything, and the moon phases for my Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, too. Dude, I mean, Kristin's winning.
It's really a roller coaster. She couldn't count the 3 and then hits you with some good stuff. And then she's got the Rachel Lamont, like New Era winner. Okay. And then she's got maybe the best inspiration answer we've ever heard. Not mom or dad, myself. Yeah. I'm my own inspiration. I love that. And then she ends with some astrology woo-woo, which I wasn't really feeling that she would be. So I don't know. Like, look, her questionnaire really wasn't going to change my opinion anyway, because it's more external factors from Kristin, not Kristin herself. So like, I just think this cast in the way Survivor is played right now is not conducive to who she is, honestly. Like, that's what, like, if there were, remember season 1, how many people over 40 were on season 1?
A lot. I mean, season 1's the oldest cast, I think, in the history of the show.
Yeah. And now she's the oldest player. And there's only 2 people or 3 people over 40. Like, that's what I mean. It's not her fault. It just kind of sucks.
Yeah. I still think Kristin has a lot of upside. I think Kristin is somebody who can go really, really far. I do worry, though, same thing I said about, was it Jenna? I think it was Jenna, of like, oh no, it was Kilby. Could the game be too much? You finally achieved something you've been trying to do for 25 years. All of your friends and all of your family, everybody knows, like, this has been your dream. This is what you've wanted to do. And now you're getting a chance, and does the pressure get to you? Do you crack under that? I don't know. I mean, you have to think, when she started applying, she was either 23 or 24. It's a long ass time. You've lived an entire lifetime. So I'm still high on her. I mean, the whole astronomy, astrology, whatever stuff, that never does anything for me, but we've had those kinds of people go far on seasons. Like, Cassidy's a second place finisher. We've had other people like that. Like, I don't know what
it's not a complete not. It's not like you can't, but it's like, why are you going to win? You're like, oh, because this planet's over there. Like,
I think it's also, I mean, hey, but you know what? The last person we had win over the age of 40 was Gabler, and his answer to why will you be the sole survivor was yes, with an exclamation point.
Well, that's confidence. That's saying,
yeah, why? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, God. All right, Lewis. We're moving on to Lewis.
So I just scrolled through. There's 3 people over. Actually, there's only 1 person over 40. And it's
because the other one is 40, right?
There's 2 other people that are exactly 40.
Gotcha. All right. Lewis now. So, Lewis is an Irish farmer living in Puerto Rico. He didn't speak any Spanish when he moved there. He's not sure that he can lay low. And that worries the hell out of me. I think that there's a lot to be excited about with Lewis. I think he's going to be fun, but not being able to lay low. I feel like Lewis is either the guy who goes really far and we're like, oh man, he's entertaining us week after week, or he's the guy who goes out really early and you're like, why the hell did he not just keep his mouth shut? I feel like it is a wide range for Lewis coming into the season.
I'm getting like Zayn vibes.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
I think he's going to be like a flame out first or second boot. Like, I think he's going to be gone so early. It's crazy. I love the accent. It's crazy that Survivor, so many seasons, how few accents do we really get?
Blake was saying earlier in the Patreon video that he thinks this is like the season of accents. He said the same thing.
Like, okay, a Southern accent to me doesn't count because that's still an American. It's like domestic. But like, there's so few people, like the amount of British people that are living in the United States or like from all over the world. I mean, there's a ton of like, it's America's a melting pot. Like there's a ton of people, and maybe they just don't watch Survivor. That could be it. They don't apply. But like, I think we have like Ace,
baby. I was just
Abby Maria, Lewis. Like, who else?
Yeah. No,
That's
I hear
3
you.
people.
Speaking of 3 people, let's do 3 words.
3 words. Can he count to 3? No, it would have been what Kristin could have done. What were her 2 words again? Joyful and determined?
Something like that, yeah.
She could have said joyful and determined.
That's true. But she put a comma.
Because that's 3 words. And she just put a comma, which makes it even worse.
Yeah. All right, Lewis, 3 words. Cheeky, devilish, charming. That sounds Irish.
Actually,
Why do you want to play Survivor? What?
Hold on. You think she put it? She probably did put a 3rd word and they had to remove it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like you think it was like a curse or something?
I don't know what, but she put something down that they didn't want to hit the papers, hit the press. That's what it
interesting.
Was. Anyway, continue.
All right, so why do you want to be part of the show? I love it. Once I became a U.S. citizen, I owed it to myself to apply. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, right?
Michael
Scott, thank you. What's one life experience that's prepared you for the game? My trip a few months ago to North Korea. Which previous player do you identify with most? Who do you think you'll play most like? Identify with Venus. Oh, geez. She's funny and not afraid to say what's on her mind. 10 toes down. I also feel like I'm a better, cooler version of Tyson. So This guy's out. I'm out on Lewis. I'm done with Lewis. Better, cooler version of Tyson. I get that that's tongue in cheek. I hope that that's tongue in cheek. If that's not tongue in cheek, Lewis is done. What will you value in an alliance partner? Someone that's there to cause chaos and have fun. That's fun. Favorite hobbies? Lying. What do you mean? I can go on a show where it's okay to deceive people. Traveling, charting the unknown. I've always wanted to live a remote life. What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? Been to 40 plus countries. I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly, and I have appreciation of it all. I love travel so much. I live in a school bus. Something you never know from looking at you. I feel I'm more intelligent than people take me for. I might sound a bit rougher on the edges, but on Survivor, every blunder, every mistake I make publicly is probably very thought out and deliberately executed deliberately executed move. Who is in your life is your biggest inspiration? My beautiful wife, Andrea. That's good. Good start. Why will you be the sole survivor? Probably won't be the sole survivor. If these players have any notion about them, they'll make sure I don't get the final tribal council. But if I do, the game is good as one. Here's my thing with Lewis. This feels performative. It feels super, super, super performative. And that doesn't mean that Lewis can't come out and cause chaos like he's saying, but I feel like this questionnaire is unbelievably performative.
Yeah, but like I did pick up on some of that through the video that he's kind of a mischievous, like he wants to stir the pot. He's an agent of chaos. Like I felt that. Like, it seems like he's like traveling. He likes kind of like bullshitting, talking. He said the word crack a lot, which is like in Irish, that's slang for like just good times, good. You know, I went to a high school with a bunch of like Irish families, like like their parents are first generation basically. And at some point we would always say like that word came up and then people wouldn't shut up and just say, oh, let's get some crack. Good crack today. Good crack. Good crack. Good crack. You spell it CRAIC. And he likes good crack.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I get what you're saying. It did come across in the video, and it does feel like he's just going to want to cause chaos. But I feel like Lewis is going to go out early because he's going to burn out so fast. I feel like Lewis doesn't have like the Tony upside of figuring out what it was that made Tony like win the game. I feel like Lewis is going to come out. He's going to be overly aggressive. He's going to play a crazy game, and I think he's going to go out really, really early.
He'll be good crack though.
He will be for sure. He will be that. So
yeah, I mean, like, do you get what I'm saying with Zane, where Zane's gonna like make an alliance with everyone and then like ask to be voted out, and like I'm a master, I'm a master manipulator, and then he'll get voted out.
I 100% can see that happening. All right, let's move on. Linnea. I think I'm saying that right. I missed her name in it. Linnea, 25 from Kearney, New Jersey. Jersey City is where she lives now. It says she's an entrepreneur as her occupation over here on Parade. I wonder if they didn't want to say adult sex toy shop owner. But yes, that's what she does. She owns a store for adult sex toys and adult other things with her brother. Her parents don't talk about her job, and now here she is coming out here and saying it to the world. She had the video or the clip in the what do you call it? The season preview. She was the one who had the clip where she looked like Amanda Kimmel, and everybody was like, holy shit, it's Amanda Kimmel. Doesn't look anywhere nearly as much like Amanda Kimmel from this photo, but it is really funny that in that picture, she looked so much like Amanda Kimmel. So as St. Cliffo said, this girl is already the internet's favorite. Will, what'd you get from her?
For whatever reason, she's the only one I remembered from the preview.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she's going to be. I think because I feel like she's going to be a big character on this season. I don't know if she's winning. I actually think she's probably not winning. I don't get winning upside really, but I think she's going to be a lot of fun. I think she's going to be a great confessionalist. I think she's going to be one of the main characters of the season. Those were my impressions, at least.
I go either way with her on that. I feel
Main
like
character energy, isn't that what they call that?
they do call it main character energy. I actually worry a little bit that she could fall backwards and be overshadowed if things don't go her way. Like I think about like Bianca. She gives me similar to Bianca vibes. That North Jersey kind of attitude, personality, but if you're not there, you're not there. That's just how it goes. Like if it doesn't pop, it doesn't pop. And Bianca was somebody who really didn't pop on 48. I feel like if she can get into it and she's more of a main character and she does make a deep run, she'll be a lot of fun. But if she doesn't make a deep run, I feel like she's going to be overshadowed. So let's go to her questionnaire. Rational, outgoing, optimistic. This life, this limited time on earth is all I'm certain of. With that, I seek to experience as much as possible, saying yes to a challenge, to be uncomforted, to grow. Survivor provides all that. Studying and working in DC, where networking is imperative to your success, helped me prepare for the complex social politics of Survivor. She identifies with Kyle Fraser due to his ability to build strong relationships, lead votes without being the overt leader. He's also extremely well-rounded. What will you value in an alliance partner? True friendship, positive attitude, doesn't freak out or get overly paranoid. Rational. Favorite hobby, street photography, logre, Lagree. I don't know what that is. Attending jazz shows. Pet peeves when people ask me my zodiac sign, hopefully not in the same tribe as Kristin. When people exclude others in combos, standing in a circle that doesn't make everyone feel a part of it. Accomplishment you're most proud of, being a successful business owner in New York City. Something we would never know from looking at you. I have a laughing problem. I've had countless uncontrollable laughing attacks, funerals, church, class, during a presentation, etc. They happen when I know I shouldn't be laughing. Who in your life is your biggest inspiration and why? Lindsay Adario, conflict war photographer, risks her life to be the voice of the voiceless and follows her true passion. That's an answer. Like that's a kid answer, right?
Okay, so like even saying yourself, while I appreciate that it was different, this is like an actual inspiration.
That is awesome. It's like, because that's what gets me when you're constantly saying your parents. Like when I grew up I grew up wanting to make movies, right? It's like Charlie Kaufman was my biggest inspiration. Like I wanted to be Charlie Kaufman. If you want to be a director, like you want to be Stanley Kubrick or Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese, like somebody. It feels like everybody's just like my mom and dad. It's like, what are we all doing? Like I get you're all being on Survivor, but like, where's the dream and aspiration here? It's like, here she is saying a conflict war photographer. Like, thank you. Okay, I'm high on her now. Why will you be the sole survivor? I'm highly skilled at reading people, persuading people, and being a leader that doesn't come off as threatening, in addition to my grit, determination, athletic abilities. And also, like, every kid grew up wanting to be an athlete. Like, why can nobody say athletes anymore? Okay, anyway. Yeah, I think reading that gives me more hope for her than the video that I watched of her.
Yeah. I just feel like she's going to be very present. And look, she could go fourth place, but like if she goes fourth place, it's not like we never really got to know her. That was a random exit. Like it will be a loud fourth place, is what I'm saying.
I still feel like she could fall to the background, but I do understand what you're saying. What is Lagree?
Lagree is I think some sort of workout class.
Okay, it's a fitness class. Okay. Which I got called fat today on Instagram by somebody who didn't like that I said Natalie Anderson was overrated. So that makes sense why I don't know what Lagree is. There you go.
That tracks.
That tracks. Anyway, so you're saying potential winner here with her.
What are we talking about in the chat? Blake? Is Blake in the chat?
Yeah, he showed up for a second. He can't read text messages. He just comes in to troll. We have to record HHH after this, guys. That's why Blake cares. What are you saying? Answer the question. I asked you, do you think there's winning upside with Linnea? And then you just were like, is Blake in the chat? I asked you a question, Will.
I'm not going to say there's no way she's winning, but I would not like flag her as like one of the winning options so far.
Okay. That's how I feel kind of too. All right. Let's move on then. Shall we? Maggie. Oh my God. The button didn't work again. So annoying. 40 years old. Oh, there's my first typo. Middle Way, West Virginia. Charlestown, West Virginia is where she lives now. Farmer. Maggie homeschools her kids. Lifetime farmer and hunter and fisher. wants to make fire without Flint. It seems like she's out there really big time for the adventure
Experience.
of everything.
Yeah, she's an experienced one. You know what vibes I got right away? It might just be the look.
It's going to be Monica.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Monica Culpepper, but like the way that
Yeah.
Monica like goes out in one world and then she's back in Bloodverse Water and she like gets to the final three with like obviously she's not winning. Like I don't see Maggie as like a winner, and I think she's gonna be there for the experience. She could be a fun like side character, but I it's like I don't know. I don't you kind of get the impression we always cast some older woman, and it's like before the season starts, I'm like, well, that person's gonna get no confessionals. We're never gonna hear from them, and that's kind of who Maggie is fitting into for me right now.
Yeah. St. Quippo brings up
Like
first
Heather,
ever West Virginia castaway.
Heather, Sue.
This is
It's
what
so
you were talking
freaky.
about with Kristin is more of where I feel like Maggie goes. Yeah.
What do you mean? What did I say about Kristin?
Well, just like where you feel like Kristin being a little bit older, she's going to be on the outs. Like I feel like Maggie has the bigger personality that is going to
Kristin.
lead to her being out rather than in.
Gotcha. Yeah, and honestly, it's like she gives me, and maybe it's the farmer of it all, but she kind of gives me more of like she leans more to like an older archetype than even Kristin does, even though Kristin's 9 years
Yeah.
older. It's like
I
she
agree.
feels like she's the motherly farmer. And again, 40's not that old, but on a cast where you're probably she's the second oldest or third oldest, like
Yeah. All right, so let's read about her. Joyful, intentional redneck. I've loved Survivor since I was 15, been watching for 25 years and waiting for the opportunity of a lifetime. Life experience that helped her prepare growing up in West Virginia. Most identifies with Parv. Boo. I don't know who I'm going to play most like. We'll see throughout the season. Someone who's creative, open, happy, and willing to make bold moves. A good alliance partner. Hobbies, farming, gardening, fishing, hunting, exploring, running, lifting, pole vaulting, reading, teaching, signing, cooking, playing guitar. Accomplishment we're most proud of. The life my husband and I created. Something we never know. Looking at you, I'm a mom of 3 amazing, marvelous children who merit me more love than I deserve. Biggest inspiration in life and why? Jesus, because he saved me. I mean, there's like, again, I'm surprised we actually don't see that answer more often. Why will you be the sole survivor? I truly believe my entire life has prepared me to outwit, outplay, outlast. I'm determined to be the season 51 sole survivor. Her questionnaire is literally Gaber's questionnaire. Like there's nothing to gain from it. And it's all just going to come down to how does she pop on the screen?
yeah, it's very generic. I mean, even the one answer we're like, wow, she didn't do what everyone else does. Like, Jesus, great. It's still fairly generic, even though it's better than mom or dad.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I don't know with Maggie. I really don't. I mean, I feel like maybe there's some upside here.
It's
but
Monica Culpepper in Blood vs. Water is like, I think as high as she can get.
Yeah.
Like a finalist, in a losing finalist, I think it wouldn't be that crazy, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. And maybe one who falls more to the back of the screen time, like a Julie, like a Monica, you know, some of those characters that we see. Sue,
Heather.
Yeah. I mean, it's all there. We've seen it before. All right, let's move on. So we're up to Mike Pinsky, 32, New York City, baseball executive, works for the Yankees. What did I have written down for Mike? Assistant director of the Yankees, shoots for the impossible things and accomplishes them, wants to be well-rounded. That was kind of his story, is like he's trying to be different. What do you think about Mike?
Mike is really tough to pin. I think he could come out and be super good at Survivor, or he can just fall flat on his face. Like he was tough to read. Like he's got this amazing job. He's only 32, super successful. Does he have like a wife and kid? Like it seems like he's like the American dream guy right now, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like he's Captain America or something. Does that resonate? Can he go?
No, he's not like muscular and cool enough to be Captain
No, he's
America.
not. I don't know, but he's got. Is he like married his high school sweetheart or something?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. It's like that's what I mean. He's like this guy's like just the good. This is like a younger Tom Westman. It feels like where it's just like this is just a good guy, you know, and like all around winner.
Bobby Hall says he's such a guy. all capitals.
Yeah, he is. He
That's
is.
fair.
He is just like he's just like right down the middle, like. But he's living the dream. Like he's an executive for the Yankees. That's awesome. And I couldn't pick up on whether he's like cocky, conceited, arrogant about it, which I feel like you could be a little bit with that much success.
Yeah.
Or if he's like so humble and down to earth. But if he's humble and down to earth, then you're like, well, shit, this guy's like perfect. Like, what? This guy can do no wrong if he's humble. And then you can't let him get to the end. I don't know.
Let's read his questionnaire to figure it out.
All right.
Enthusiastic.
Before we get to the questionnaire, what were your like initial? Because that was my initial thing. Like, I can't tell which way.
I liked him more from the video than when I had originally seen that he was cast. Because like obviously Blake and I had done a casting perspective Patreon video where we had like given like initial thoughts. I thought he was going to be kind of like a conceited New York City, kind of mass hole, even though he's in New York. I liked him more from the video. I still don't think he's the winner of the season, but let's read the questionnaire. Enthusiastic, strategic, driven. When I was 8, I played Survivor with my friends in our apartments. When I was 18, my college friends would drop everything. Sacred Wednesday night viewings. When I was 28, my marriage proposal incorporated a Probst catchphrase. Lost his mom to metastatic breast cancer when he was 24. Previous players you identify with most: Kyle, Charlie, and Adam. That's always good. We like Adam. Ultimately hope to be this season's Rachel. He says that's the best new era winner. What will you value in an alliance partner, as in baseball front offices, when it comes to Survivor strategy? Information is king. Favorite hobbies: best home cook you'll ever meet. Also a big fan of pickup basketball, improv comedy, tennis, and playing with my dachshund Pookie. Pet peeves: misused words, overused words, underseasoned food. He is going to hate Blake if he listens to our podcast. What is the accomplishment you are most proud of? Marrying my high school crush, Becky. What is something we never know from looking at you working for the Yankees? I spend tons of time assessing players from the comfort of a stadium seat or my desk chair, but inside of me is burning desire to be the one playing. I'm beyond pumped to hit the beaches of Fiji. Why will you be the sole survivor? I'm athletic, but at 5'8", I'm not physically imposing. I'm strategic, but I know how to downplay it when I need to. And I'm a good chat without being a charm machine who will be seen as too big of a social threat. I have the right cocktail of qualities to take the thing to the end.
All right. Well, that's what it is. He's 5'8". I was like, there has to be something. Then honestly, it helps him. And he says it too. Like him being 5'8", I think this is like Dean from Survivor 39. Like, if he was like 6'3", works for the Yankees, New York, like got it all, like I just think there's no way he'd just be too threatening. I think I'm higher on him now after the questionnaire, but I still don't think he's winning. The Rachel answer I don't love either. I liked a lot of the answers.
He does mention Adam. That's a good thing. He
mentions Adam, but then he says he wants to play like Rachel, the best new era winner. I don't know.
We did not have her there for anybody who's listening.
I feel like there are like 3 or 4 or 5 better new era winners.
What does the Wilgorhythm think, though?
I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
I'm torn. I think he can do well. I don't see him winning. Being 5'8" is going to help him blend in a lot. That really helps him out.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm 5'9", Will. You're making it sound like we're like the bottom of your shoe. Jesus. Crazy. 5'9" and so much cooler than you, and you're over here acting like I'm gum on your heel.
5'9" is different than 5'8". I feel like 5'8", and the difference between 5'8" and 5'9". Like 5'9", you're like, no one would look at you and be like, oh, that's short. But like 5'8", you're treading on like that's short.
Got to wear a heel on your shoe, man. That's what it comes down to. All right, let's move on. Ori Jean-Charles, 27, Spring Valley, New York, personal trainer. He's the one who said that he's scared of the women because they're the ones who keep winning these seasons. I love that he had the confidence to say that. Model and fitness coach, former athlete, played with Maine football. Playing for his mom, type A personality. I get that. What do you think about Ori before we get into his question?
I don't know. It's a former professional athlete, but like it never says like NFL player. Like I wonder what he went professional in.
His answer for what life experience prepared him for the game is the longest answer ever, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I think in there it might talk about that.
Okay.
Somebody else gonna have to read that though, because that's just, we're not doing that whole thing. That's gonna take too long. These are long.
Very long. These are long. Yeah. I don't get good vibes.
I get good vibes. It's just the archetype that always does so poorly on
that,
the show.
I think that's what I mean. Like the archetype of like the athlete who comes back and they like it's not their main thing now. They're doing like it feels like they're never game oriented enough. And like he might be the exception, but it just seems like, and it seems like he's pretty confident too without fully, I don't trust that he fully knows Survivor like he says he does.
He does. Did he say he does? Wasn't he the one who said he didn't watch, or who was the one who said they didn't watch?
No, that's
Oh, that's Patt. That's the next person we get to.
yeah.
Let's do 3 words to describe: consistent, anomaly, hustler. Why do you want to be part of this to change my family's lives? What's one life experience prepared you for the game? In college, my mom had an accident. She really hurt her back. He was finding his footing, realizing some of his Division I football dreams. Had to transfer, needed to be closer to home. Was going back and forth all the time. It's a really long answer. It's a good answer, but it's one that we cannot spend the time on. But it's good. Which previous player to identify with most, and who do you think you'll play most like? Jeremy is who I identify with. When your why is greater than yourself and you have everything riding on it, there is nothing you won't do, and nothing means more to me than my family. What do you value in an alliance partner? Loyalty first and foremost, and somebody who's willing to take the shot. Favorite hobbies: food. That's good. Travel, fashion. Pet peeves: I hate idiocy. I have no patience for it. My second pet peeve is someone that absolutely needs attention. Accomplishment you're most proud of: most proud of being the first in my family to get a college degree. What is something we would never know from looking at you? Something you never know is that I used to play the violin. That's fun. Who in your life is your biggest inspiration? Why? His mom. I'm not going to boo this one because of the injury and stuff, and I don't know where she's at, so I'm not going to boo. I made that mistake earlier. I'm not going to do it, but the boo is in my heart. I just want that to be known. Why would be the sole survivor? I'm book smart, street smart, and a former pro athlete. I'm literally made for Survivor. More importantly, I'm here to win. There's nothing I won't do to win Survivor. I think Ori's going to be great TV. I just don't think Ori's going to win Survivor.
I think he says a lot of things in the absolute where it's like, I'm made to play Survivor. Like he said, he forgot to mention in 3 words, describe yourself. He says consistent, and then he explains each of the 3 words with far more than 3 words. Consistent, never too hard, too low. I am a rock my family and friends know they can rely on. Anomaly, I am more than what meets the eye. I have a little edge. I am different. It's like, but are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, do you think other people have a little edge inside their own brands to think that they're different? Like, that's what I mean. Like, I think he's. I trust he's playing. Like it seems like he's playing for amazing reason. He wants to help his family and help his mom. And like his NFL career didn't work out, so he really is motivated for the money and stuff. Like, I just don't. I think he's very confident that the game is going to naturally come to him, and that's going to be easy. It's almost as if like no one else out. The other 20 competitors aren't here to play and win. Also, like it's just they're just going to lie down for him.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a mentality of somebody who's trying to be a pro athlete. Like every time you go on ESPN right now in the preseason of NFL football, and every article is like, man, we got the best guy. This rookie, you'll never believe it. You'll never believe like that's all it is. It's like it's almost like hype train stuff. But, I'm not surprised that that's where Ori's coming from. I do think he's going to be good TV though. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, but just not much else going on there. So yeah, and he'll be useful in the challenges at least early on. But let's move on. Shortest answer there. Sorry, Ori. We're up to Patt. Patt Kennedy, 33, Tampa, Florida, Washington, D.C. Not a super fan at all. Navy attorney, nerdy, homeschooled. Family is military. Not a super fan. Kind of like that. I mean, I don't know what that's going to mean, but I love that we have a not a super fan on the show. That's great.
Yes.
It's huge. What'd you think though?
I got good vibes from her. I do think it's hard to be like a winner without being, and not that you need to be a super fan, but it seems like she's just like, I sometimes watch. I'm like very nonchalant about it, almost like Jen Brown from Worlds Apart, almost, where it's like, yeah, I love that show. And Phil, you probably experience this a lot too. You'll be like, oh, I have a Survivor podcast, or I tell people, oh, I used to work on the show. They're like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Survivor. It's like, are you? Like,
yeah, like name 2 winners that weren't in the last.
And they're like, season. Oh yeah, Boston Rob, he's a legend. It's like the people who like think because they tune in and they don't even know about, like, it's like, oh well, if you're really a super fan, you would know about the podcast, about the specialist.
It's true.
And I like that Pat's admitting this, but it's good and it's bad though, because it's also, I don't think if you don't know the game well enough, it's gonna hurt you, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like what's going to end up happening to Pat is Pat's going to do all right. She's going to be feeling it. And then I think eventually it's going to become too much for her. She's going to go like the Kendra way, where eventually other people who know the game better than her are just going to be able to get rid of her. And she's not going to understand why in the moment. And that's what's
Jen and Haley from Worlds Apart.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 words.
Game changers, Haley.
No, not game changer. I mean, same place.
2 completely different characters.
3 words to describe you: goofy, loyal, intense, love challenges, new adventures. A few years ago in Brazil, they went on a hike with her and her friends. Nobody spoke Portuguese. They ended up on a 6-hour hike that was supposed to be 3. Previous players she identifies with most and wants to play like Amanda and Rachel. What will you value in an alliance partner? I want someone who's willing to take risks with me and engage in shenanigans. Hobbies: boxing, skydiving, hiking, dramatic reading nights. Really whatever I've picked up this week. Pet peeves: white sunglasses, flip-flops, and jeans when the latest informed person is telling everyone else what to do. I love that answer. Accomplishment you're proud of: marriage to my husband, biggest inspiration and why. Parents are my biggest inspiration. Where is it? There it is. And why will you be the sole survivor? Sparkling personality, undeniable wit, and of course my good looks. Like, I truly think she's as self-aware as you need to be as a non-super fan going out there with people who've been talking about how Survivor is their life forever. She's not going to win though. I think she could be a fan favorite, but Venus was a fan favorite. Venus didn't know what was going on.
I think she could be very fun.
Yeah. What's her ceiling though?
I mean, I think losing finalist was in the cards.
You do think she could make it that far? Like a Sage almost. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Sage and her, like she's very put together, it seems like. She feels like she would have been a great casting choice in the first 20 seasons.
Yeah.
But I think
her and Carter should have just played earlier.
And maybe this is the casting team trying to get more back to that. I mean, I feel like early on, a lot of these people had very similar backgrounds. And now as you get a little bit further in, you're starting to see some diversity in kind of like where people are coming from. And this is why I said, I think I like this cast more than I've liked a lot of casts. I feel like there's a lot more going on here, which might be helped by the fact that there's also 3 more people.
It could be, but it's also, it's like, okay, we're going to not cast some super fans, but then like we still are going to cast like the other half super fans. Yeah. It's almost like, okay, well now this half has a huge leg up. It's almost like to fully lean into it.
Yeah. Bobby Hall says Pat is the only one to see through Kim's mist on One World. There you go. So, you ready? I think that's just more of like a I don't know. All right. Let's move on. We only have 2 left, Will. Short podcast. Rob Antonsen, Boston Rob, the new Boston Rob. Here we go. He works at Logan Airport, has 3 kids, met his wife on a cruise. He says he's a lasagna, kicks kids' ass in board games. What'd you think of Boston Rob?
I am very one of the 3 or 4 people where it's like I could see this, because can't you be like, oh my gosh, this guy's crazy and he's loud and he's gonna be too threatening and he's gonna want to manipulate. He's gonna be out early, but then it's like, man, couldn't he just be like Dom or Tony and maybe he's
just
like
this
really...
guy can win.
Yeah, like I think I have it all open. I think he could be the first boot. I think he could be the winner. Like anything in between. Yeah, like I really like it. Really depends. Just if people click with him and actually like, because if he's in good with people, I think he can run the game post-merge and win, and people maybe don't see it coming. But I don't know. He's got the accent, the whole Northeast thing. Like there's been so many strong-minded, strategic, aggressive players from the Northeast with Boston Rob, Tony, Dom, that like, do people just look at him and go, okay, that's the type of player he's going to be? Because it is the type of player he wants to be.
Yeah. I think he has winning potential for sure. I think that he's surprising me. He's probably surprising me the most out of everybody when you saw the photo based like way back when it first was announced on Inside Survivor to now. hearing him talk, hearing him be self-aware of like, I'm not that young guy, but I still want to like mix it up with the young kids. I feel like there's a lot of upside to this guy. 3 words to describe him: competitive, funny, loving. He's a total city boy, never been an outdoor type, but he wants to show his kids that you can get out of your comfort zone and take chances. He thinks working at the airport has prepared him for Survivor, because at the end of the day, Survivor is a huge social game, and at the airport, you're socializing with people all over the globe. Which previous player to identify with most and who you think you'll play like most? Boston Rob. I love that. I will play with a mix of Tony and Joe. Hopefully it means Joe Anglin.
God.
Yeah, that's not good. What will you value in an alliance partner? Value someone who's an open book to me, not someone who acts shady at times. I value someone who will shoot down my name when talked about from others voting. Favorite hobbies: coaching son sports teams, traveling with the family, game night, karaoke, videoing, podcasts, and video editing. Spending family time with my wife and kids. Pet peeves: miserable people, bad hygiene, especially bad breath, the pouring of soda. I have no clue why. What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? Helping to create my 3 children. I've always wanted kids and have always wanted to be a daddy. Being a dad is the best thing in the world, and I would never change it. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the fact that he just used the word daddy there, because I know he's talking about like from the kid's perspective, but
Right.
like, we're talking about the Survivor casting at the like this point. I just feel like the word daddy with half the people would not be like that. It's like, yeah, daddy. I hear Bryce Isaiah going, like I can hear it in my head.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
What is something we never know from looking at you? I'm a huge reality TV junkie. Real Housewives, Traders, Love Island, The Challenge. If it's reality, I probably watched it. Who's your life is the big... Go ahead.
That's like Tony. Like Tony, I guess Tony was a big Survivor guy. He didn't watch it all, but then obviously Tony went. Like Tony knew ball. Like Tony knew Survivor going in. It wasn't like he just lucked into being what he was. And so I think this guy knows ball.
He does. Biggest inspiration: father. Boo. Why will you be the sole survivor? Be a sole survivor because I feel like I can be a social chameleon in the game. I can fit into any crowd due to my life experience. I mean, like, I like this guy. The bad answer with the father, but this is a good. This guy has a lot more winner potential than the internet and Survivor fans are going to give him credit. Additionally,
right? No, he's got maybe the crazy energy, and you're like, whoa, that guy won't lie. But then I'm telling you, if people click with him and like him, he is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he's got a lot of upside, and I think that this cast is like different enough that he'll actually fit in with most of them, and I think that's huge for him. Huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Last but not least, we are up to Sharonda. Sharonda Cox, 34 years old, Pompano Beach, Florida, currently lives in Richmond, Kentucky, a resident OBGYN. What did I write down for Sharonda? Everything she's done is for someone else. So she's getting that story, right? It's I've always done something for everybody else. Now I'm ready to do this for myself. Sharonda is also 34 years old. My God.
34 is the number.
I screwed up, man. I'm done. That was my shot. I blew it. It's over.
Well, maybe next time it will be 35.
Maybe. What did you think of Sharonda?
I honestly got nothing from her.
Nothing.
I felt like maybe it was because she was the last one. I'm like, man, this video has been long, but like I was kind of getting bored. Like I felt like she was just super generic.
I wanted to like her so much more. I mean, Pompano Beach, that's right by where I used to live. And I was like, oh, that'll be great. I can just latch on there, move away from Jersey. I don't need to always pick that person. I didn't get much from Sharonda. I really didn't. I feel like she is like, somebody that people are going to be willing to work with. They're going to like her. But I feel like Sharonda's going to be the type of player where we're getting into a finale episode and everybody's like, we got to get rid of Sharonda because she's really good at the game. And we're all looking around going, wait, who is Sharonda? What's her edit been?
Oh, right. Yeah. Where it's like, oh my gosh, suddenly the biggest threat here is going to get all the jury votes to Sharonda. You're like, huh? We haven't heard from her at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's look at this and see if it changes us. The final questionnaire: charismatic, resilient, reliable. Survivor's a way of forcing people to be vulnerable, reflect, and see themselves in a new light. I'd like to encourage those little black boys and girls, those in low economic areas, and my family and friends, that what we can do despite our disadvantaged beginnings. Growing up in Pompano Beach in a single-parent household taught me that you have to work hard for everything. That's why she thinks she's prepared for the game. Identifies with Suri the most. I'm shocked by the things I'm able to accomplish. She's also a strong black woman. Loyalty, but adaptability. If plans change 5 minutes before tribal, you need to be both and ready to make it happen. So that's for an alliance partner. Favorite hobbies: fishing, reading, watching sports with her husband. Pet peeves: loud chewers, cannot stand the sound of someone chewing with their mouth open. Accomplishment you're most proud of, making my family proud, whether that's being a doctor or just a decent human being. Something we never know from looking at you. First chair in an orchestra, played violin at Disney. That's fun. Also a science
Whoa!
nerd and loved NASA. That's a big one for me, dude. It's a big one
No,
for
I mean
me.
violin. If she's on a tribe with or what's his name?
Ori?
Ori.
What did Ori do that was musical?
He played violin.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Who in your life's biggest inspiration? My maternal grandparents. And why we be the sole survivor? Life has trained me for this moment. There isn't one thing this game can throw at me that I haven't already endured. I was made for this.
There isn't one thing that you haven't already endured. Have you played Survivor before?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Have you listened to a 2 hour and 14-minute podcast from the specialists?
Probably
That's
not,
endurance.
but that's not. She doesn't need to do that.
It's endurance, though. Until you've endured that, I'm just saying.
Endurance.
Anything changed for you after reading that, or not really?
No. I feel like she's gonna. I think she's gonna get a purple at it. I don't think we're gonna hear from her much, unless she like goes on a journey or finds an advantage, like where they have to show what she's saying. She did not pop on camera at all. And maybe that's just the pregame interview. Maybe once she's in there and she can talk about the other players, but like, I really just didn't get much. I think she's going to be lost on this cast.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. We'll see what ends up happening. I mean, maybe she's able to pull something out, but I agree with you. And I feel like, there's a lot of bigger personalities here. I feel like Sharonda, Carter, maybe even Maggie. Those are the people I'm seeing as potentially falling to the back.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I
I'm
agree
dying.
with that. Who's your winner pick?
My winner pick for this season. Who am I going with as my winner pick? So
I guess this is your initial winner pick, or
yeah, I'm going to go with a man and a woman, because obviously we're going to do the over-under game. We're going to do the fantasy game. We got plenty of stuff going on here. What's the other game we always do? Is it we just do 2 now in the preseason? I feel like we always do 3 episodes. I have to look because now I'm confused. My 2, I'm going to do a man and I'm going to do a woman as my winner picks. For my... All right, hang on. I got to look down the list one more time. Okay, I'm good. For my female winner pick, I'm still going to go with Kristin. I don't care. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with Kristin, stick with Kristin. I think that Kristin has a lot of upside. She's obviously a diehard fan, been applying since day one. I'm going with Kristin, and I'm going to stick with it. For my male winner pick, I actually am having a little bit tougher of a time, and maybe it's just because I've forgotten some of them as we've gone. I really love Rob. I kind of want to say Rob, but I'm going to go with Eric. I'm going to say Eric is my male winner pick here instead of Rob, even though I think Rob would be a close second there. Who is your winner pick, Will?
I'm not even going to do male and female unless you want me to do male and female.
I feel like whatever you want.
It's Jenna, man. I'm telling you.
So why you got Jenna? You can't just say Jenna, man. I'm telling you. Why is Jenna your winner pick? And answer it like it's a confessional.
Jenna has the best vibes. I think she clearly knows the game, but she's got, I think, that like fun charisma. Again, the whole theme of this cast was, are you fun, bubbly, and charismatic, or are you annoying? And I think from what I got from Jenna, she seems like she's just truly fun and social and charming without being over the top and annoying. Plus, she's got the game knowledge. So, yeah.
I mean, I like that answer. Let me ask you, let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Who's your first boot?
The Irish guy.
Lewis is your first. So you're going full Zane on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I like that, though. I like the confidence there. My first boot, who am I going to go with here? Dude, I should have picked Jelly. I messed up. Anyway, Jelly's my second female winner pick. First boot, I'm going to go with Carter. I'm just going to pick Carter.
All right.
Yeah, first. I don't think it happens, but that's my pick. I got nothing else to say.
Don't think that happens.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Carter, though. Maybe we don't know what these tribes are going to look like. That's fun. Anyway, we do only have 2 other preseason podcasts. I was wrong. So we are going to be talking about the over-under game at some point, and we're going to do the fantasy.
We'll have more podcasts about this cast.
I'm sure we'll figure out something. We got to talk about it. But anyway, the only two that we definitely know are coming are those two. So make sure you stay tuned for those. If you want to become a patron, patreon.com/thespecialist, it's right there at the bottom. So go ahead and check that out. Heroes, Healers, Hustlers is what we're up to right now in Every Season Matters. If you become a top tier patron, you get access to all of the Every Season Matters. Plus, you can play in the Power Rankings game and you can play in the fantasy game. So those are two fun things that I think are worth doing. I'll be doing the weekly prop bet game again this year. So that's the other thing, but that'll be right before the season starts. And that won't be a full season long prop bet. It'll be weekly. It worked out really well for season 50. So I'll continue doing that this time. So thank you all so much for listening. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let us know who your early season favorites are. And that's it. It's Survivor 51 time, everybody. So
preseason, here we go.
We're ready. This is it. So thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you all next time.
See you.